Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the panel again. What's going on, Chill?
In effect, man. In effect. Dragging to the All-Star break, brother. But we making it though. We making it.
Yeah, no doubt. Speaking of the All-Star break, what you most excited about?
The skills competition. The skills competition has now become the dunk contest for me, yo. Because I see the dudes in the skills competition. The best skill players are in it now. Like the best dunkers used to be in the dunk contest. So
yeah,
Damian Lillard and Steph Curry and all the best point guard. Kyrie Irving was in the skills competition. So the best and the most skilled players are in the skill. Cat was in the skills competition. It's one of the events that I'm looking forward to the most this weekend. 100% I am.
You think they should add some more to it? Like make it a bigger event since that's where most of the stars participate?
I don't know how much bigger they can make it. What I don't like is I'm not really feeling the three guys. I ain't feeling the teams. And the reason why I'm not feeling
the individuals?
I do like the individuals, Ron, because the teams, like I saw, I think it was last year when with Utah, they had Clarkson and Sexton was in it. Clarkson looked disinterested. He didn't look like he was really interested in being in it. I think that when it's more individualized, kind of like what the dunk contest was, when you add the teams, if you remember when they was like add contest where you got to add a guy, and it kind of took away from the luster of it. Well, I think that's the same logic with what's going on with the skills competition. When you add the teams, you take away from how skilled Kyrie Irving is or how skilled Cat is. You take away from them dudes because those dudes actually want to be in it, and I feel like they want to. I feel like them dudes want to be in it and they want to show their skills because we talk about it all the time. Who the most skilled guy is, right? Who is the best with the ball and all of that good stuff. So I'm a big fan of the skills competition. That's what I'm looking forward to the most this weekend.
Yeah, and once again, these are the teams right here. We talked about it a little bit earlier this week, but you got Team Pacers, Team Top Picks, and Team All-Stars. Team Pacers has Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, and Miles Turner. Team Top Picks, number 1 overall picks, you got Paolo Banchero, Anthony Edwards, and Victor Wembanyama. I'm actually excited to see what Vic does. You know, he's always a big draw. So are these other guys too, but, you know, Victor just has a whole different allure to him. And then you got Team All-Stars, Scotty Barnes, Tyrese Maxey, and Trae Young. And this is actually a good competition. I'm not going to lie. Chill, I do feel you on the threes, but depending on how they do it, this should be fun. This should be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
What's good, Mars? What's good, Ox?
Mars Blackman in the house. What up, brother?
Hello.
Big Ox, what up?
Chilling, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Chilly out this morning?
Yeah. I just came from outside.
Yeah.
It's freezing
you
up
see
there.
the title of the show. It's NBA players making cases this year. Cases of what? Could be a case for now you're making a case for a top 10 player. Some people may be top 5. You could be making an MVP case. You could be making a most improved case. You could be making a case that you're an all defensive player this year. It also could be reversed. You've made a case that you are actually a terrorist. You've made a case that you are actually overpaid. Maybe a player out in Washington. You've made a case that you may be a bust.
A
couple of those.
You could have made a case that Chilltown was right about you and your team the whole time, and maybe you just snuck up on some people and you really suck. Could be making that case. Maybe last year was a down year in the West. Could be making that case. Who knows, right, Mars? Right?
No one knows.
Absolutely. And so we're not going to bore you guys anymore. We're going to get into these cases that have been made. Who's making statement years one way or another? Quick super chat from Alan L. He said, shout out to Open Gym, man. Dub show yesterday. L Dub. Mars.
L Dub for sure. Oh my God, L Dub.
Hey, I would hate to be straight away from our main topic, but if we're gonna be straight away, Mars, please.
I don't think you guys can be in land. I'm gonna be honest. It's just L Dub. That's what I know.
Garbage.
The people who were the people who were there know why it's L Dub, but that's L Dub. Majorly L Dub.
Yeah, I heard you guys had a good time there yesterday. Word on the streets.
No.
No.
Dub said some. like we all say some wild stuff. Dub say some stuff. I'm thinking to myself, this dude is a lunatic, yo. I swear, no question about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
chill.
know
It was
rocking
a
with
little
Dub.
more than words going on over there.
Actions speak louder than words, man. Oh, Dub. No doubt.
No doubt. No
Big
doubt.
Ox
Well,
would
we can get to the cases.
Big Ox would have flipped out when he heard Dub say they had a conversation, Ox, about the triangle offense, and in the process of them talking about the triangle offense, Dub said that the triangle offense was not this advanced offense because Scottie Pippen is not this great offensive player, and I'm like, Dub is a lunatic. I'm like, he can't be serious by saying that. He was dead serious too, by the way. He was dead serious.
Shout out to Dub. He's doing his thing.
Shout out to Dub, yo. Shout out to Dub. What up, Dub?
Dub, if you want to get your case off, you have the opportunity to come on the grandest stage on PC and present your case. Now, I mean the second grandest. I'm sorry, third. I forget chill and my bad. I forgot y'all doing your own things. My bad. The third grandest stage, Dub, and get your case off. But
that's not why I was shaking my head, because I wasn't shaking my head because of the grander stages. I was shaking my head. I want to hear that.
Yeah, I was.
That's my man. Let Dub up, but to talk about Scottie Pippen not being a great offensive player, I don't want to hear that.
Speaking of Scottie Pippen, Dub, y'all remember this? Chill, you remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chill, what were you thinking live when you seen that?
Come back.
When you see Scottie Pippen put the Jordans up to the screen, point to him, and point like, "Come on, Jay, we need you."
Come back.
Was you thinking he on his way back?
I wasn't thinking he was on his way back, but I was like, "Come back, yes, please come back."
Or Chilltown, did you use that as a way to discredit Scottie's abilities by saying, "Oh, you were begging for Jordan to come back. You must not want to."
Wasn't even thinking about that. That thought didn't even cross my mind. It was, yo, get the dynamic duo back together. That's what I was thinking. Get Batman and Robin back together, and they'll run the world again. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking none of that other stuff.
Shazoo sent through a super chat and say, "Hey, what's you guys' thoughts on a report from Woj that the Warriors attempted to trade for LeBron James?"
Why is
we
this?
will get to that in a second. Hold on, Chill. Hold on, Chill. We will get to that. I promise you. You guys know we're going to get to that. If it was a certain other individual up here, we would be on it right now. But we got cases. So I'm open the floor for you guys.
Who wants to start?
I'll start. I'll start. Let me kick it off. I want to speak for my man Domantas Sabonis. I believe that Domantas is making a case to let people know that he plays MVP level basketball. I'm not saying that he will ever be an MVP, but Domantas Sabonis is making a case that he is an impact all over the floor. He plays winning basketball, and he is a top 4 center in the NBA. And you know what? I'd even go as far to say top 3.
Big Ox, I think people when they hear
Mars, I know you said AD clears Domantas. I don't want to hear that no more.
Oh, I just assumed you were going to take out Embiid because he's hurt. Never mind. Okay.
No.
Interesting.
I think Big Ox, when people hear MVP, they immediately think best player in the league, which sometimes that's the case, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's the case. But when you're thinking about an MVP, we're talking about the dude that's the most valuable to his team's success and to his unit. Mm-hmm. And what Sabonis does for that Sacramento unit, man, when I think about how valuable he is, it ain't many other guys that are more valuable to their unit and play winning basketball like he does. They run that offense through him like Denver runs that offense through Joker. I mean, he don't shoot the 3 like Joker. He doesn't shoot the 3 like Joker, but his ability to pass, his ability to get to the rim, him speeding up the game. I already professed my love for Sabonis. I told Big Ox I'm digging him, yo. Yeah, I love me some Sabonis. Yes, I do.
I think he's making the case that he wants to be in the MVP race. He wants to be in the MVP talks. He'll never win the MVP. He plays for the Sacramento Kings. It doesn't matter. If LeBron James played for the Kings for his whole career, he would never have an MVP. That's what I'm trying to get.
No, he would actually want it if James played for if James played for them. Hold on for a second.
If LeBron had a purple jersey on, I want y'all to know he would never have an MVP. But Domantas Sabonis plays MVP level basketball. So that's the case he's making right now.
Okay, Mars, what you got? What
Mine isn't a player more so than a group of players. The rookies. I think we're at a point where these young guys are coming in and contributing to their teams a lot quicker than maybe not ever before, but quicker than rookies we've seen in a while. Like just from top to bottom, we got rookies who are the best players on bad teams. You got rookies who are starting on good teams. You got rookies who are contributing to teams that are trying to compete. Like there's just all around. There's just great rookies. I mean, obviously you got Wemby and then Brandon Miller, Cam Whitmore, Amen Thompson, Jaime, who's looked great other than after his groin injury, where I mean, probably just having to work his way back in. Scoot Henderson starting to figure things out. Jordan Hawkins, Podziemski, Derek Lively, Asar Thompson, Bilal, Kaysen Wallace, Anthony Black. Like all around the league, there's just a bunch of rookies who are just coming into the league and they're helping their teams be successful, whether that means they're averaging 20 or they're playing great defense or they're passing the ball well. And then even the ones who started slow are starting to figure things out. So like, this is one draft class where there might not be a bust. And I mean, the only ones I'd say like who haven't really got an opportunity is like Jet Howard in the lottery, but even Taylor Hendricks is coming recently and started giving some minutes to Utah Jazz. So just all around, that's why I'm impressed with how good the rookies are this year. After hearing that next year's draft class is questionable in terms of like high level prospects, this draft class hasn't disappointed. It's been fantastic. And I haven't even mentioned Chet, who's technically a rookie, but was from last year's class. Just all these first year guys looking very, very talented and impactful from the jump.
Yeah, it's definitely been an impressive class. A lot of teams got good picks. It was, this class has been a blessing. Would you say, so you would say like over the last 4 or 5 years, this class is easily the best?
I mean, it's only been 1 year, so I can't say that definitively when we've seen all-stars from other draft classes, etc. But based on the start, I don't think there's been a draft class in the last 4 or 5 years that started this well. I mean, not to mention this draft class has clearly the best prospects of the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. So from that regard, yeah, because I mean, how many draft classes can you say have had like 15 high-level guys from year one? This might be the only one. So that's where I'm at with it. Like this draft class looks pretty special, in my opinion. Now, going forward, maybe that everyone will peak in their rookie seasons. I don't know. But right now, they look very good. So I like this draft class a lot.
Okay. That super chat that you just had up there, that super chat, this dude should not be able to talk basketball. He shouldn't be. To call Sabonis a bum and say that Fox is washed, one of two things is going on. Either you a troll or you don't know anything about basketball and you shouldn't be talking. To say that.
Fox does look different to me, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just a cold stretch. I heard he was dealing with a shoulder injury. I don't know how true that is. But De'Aaron looks different when I watch him. I'm not sure it's saying anything to be concerned about, but he just looks different. So
he looked terrible to me last night, and he had 40.
He did.
Yeah, he didn't look good to me. He didn't look good to me.
Yeah, and he had 40, but he just by watching though, it just didn't look good to me. Like De'Aaron's been in a mean, like he went through a slump in December, kind of started bouncing back, and then kind of went back into a slump. But even in the slump, he's still having 30-point nights, and last night he dropped 40. So you know what I'm saying? But that just goes to show how deceiving stats can be. Like if Domantas has a 35 point triple double, 35 points, 18 boards, 12 assists, and De'Aaron has 40, you're not supposed to lose that. You're not supposed to lose that basketball game. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care if you're playing the 0-1 Lakers. No, that's too far. That's too far. Relax.
And Malik Monk he had a good game too last night.
Yeah, Malik, you know what I'm saying? Malik went crazy. So it's just like those aren't the games, but that's why I don't want to get off topic. But since he did send that super chat, it's just like simple things. Like when I'm watching the playback, Gifted was saying, "Oh, well, he had this much, but so we shouldn't talk about those free throws." No, we have to talk about those free throws. Like De'Aaron can't go to the free throw line and miss two throws. Like he does that too much. He has little mental breakdowns where it's just like he's out of it and he just gives the ball to Malik and gets out the way. Like you got to be a leader, De'Aaron. Like you can't those little breaks. I don't care if you have 40 points. So we can score the basketball. So we don't need you to always go for 40. I'm not saying to not go for 40, but it's more than that. It's the mental part. You know what I'm saying? Those winning basketball games. That's why the Warriors were so good for so long, because they got the little mental parts down. They didn't break down for those. You know what I mean? So De'Aaron just has to just become better mentally and just be a leader for 48 minutes. You can't be a leader for 40 minutes. You got to be a leader for 48 all the way through.
All right. Chill, what you got for us?
I think Jaden McDaniels is in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. If he didn't play with the Defensive Player of the Year, I think he'd be in strong consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. He's improved a lot defensively this year as a wing defender. And the one guy that a lot of people aren't talking about is Colin Sexton out in Utah. Colin Sexton has been doing work since he's gotten into the starting lineup. Before he was when he was a rotation player, he was good. But when he got back into the starting lineup, they ran more offense for him. He ran more offense for himself. Those are the two guys that I was thinking about. Colin Sexton, in terms of most improved, Colin Sexton, Tyrese Maxey too. I mean, he's doubled his assist total from last year. He's up 6 points per game this season. If you look at the most improved players in recent past, the majority of them, when they won most improved, their points per game has gone up at least 5 points per game. So I think Tyrese Maxey is in that conversation. But Colin Sexton is a guy that I'm thinking about. I don't think he's going to win most improved, but I don't think he's going to win most improved, but he's been playing really well since he got back into the starting lineup. But the one guy that I'm thinking about in terms of defensively is Jaden McDaniels. I think we're going to have a serious conversation within the next year or two about him being the best perimeter defender. And I'm a Herb Jones stan, as you guys know. But I think that Jaden McDaniels, he's bigger. He takes up more space. I think if I'm thinking about on-ball defenders in the league, Alex Caruso, Herb Jones, I don't think that there's a better. I don't think that and Alex Caruso is arguably the best on-ball defender, but I think that Jaden McDaniels, I think he can defend multiple positions as an on-ball defender. When I think about him in terms of improvement, I think he can make the case that he's the best perimeter defender in the game today. Definitively, you can make that case.
Saying that about someone who's 6'10" is so wild.
Every bit of it, Mars. There's nothing 6'7" or 6'8". He's 6'10". Every bit of it. He gave Kawhi Leonard hell a couple of nights ago. Hell.
I have a take, but
what's up?
It's not. It doesn't really pertain to the title, but I guess I could try and make it pertain to the title. The perimeter defenders of today, whether that be Drew Holiday, Derek White, Alex Caruso, Jaden McDaniels, Herb Jones, Asar Thompson, Amen Thompson, Kawhi. They're the best perimeter defenders the game's ever seen. This league today has the most talented perimeter defenders ever. Because from a standpoint of how difficult it is to play defense in this era, where we acknowledge the rules have been catered so heavily towards the offense to where, like I hear all the time, you can't touch people. The spacing is more wide open than it's ever been. There's nothing to help you at the rim in terms of 3-second violations. So you can't just have a big man camping down there. You can funnel people to. You can't just go under screens on everyone because everyone can shoot. So you have to fight through screens. You have to be versatile and switch. If you can't get through a screen, you have to guard other people. The responsibility on perimeter defenders today trumps all that of any perimeter defender from past generations. Whether you want to bring up guys like Sidney Moncrief and Alvin Robinson, I'm not saying they aren't good defenders. I'm saying they did not have the responsibility of the perimeter defenders of today, making their jobs easier. Now, they were great at their jobs, but I think if you make these current perimeter defenders' jobs as easy as theirs was, they would look like the best defenders ever. If you let Jaden McDaniels have a primary matchup where he could go under ball screens and wouldn't have to switch onto 6'11" big men, or wouldn't have to guard 1 through 4, and he really just had to lock in and guard one person, he did like the best defender to ever play basketball. So I'm not saying from an impact standpoint they're the best ever, because I understand relative to error and all that. But from a skill perspective and how much they're asked to do, this is the best generation of perimeter defenders we've ever had. And
from a talent standpoint, Mars,
yes.
I can get with your logic, because what the game is today, because their ability to switch, because they have the option of playing on the perimeter, because guys aren't the dirty work big men that they were back then. Now, I can't say with 100% certainty. I mean, I can understand your logic, but I mean, is Joe Dumars a more versatile defender if he plays today? He would have to be. And I think that his skill set would be enhanced. Is Scottie Pippen a more
have to be, but he'd also be limited by being 6'3". I could argue. Now he was strong, so I'm not saying he couldn't guard like 1 through 3, but he'd be somewhat limited.
So if that's true, then that means that Lou Dort is limited. That means that Drew Holiday is limited, which they weren't. I mean, Drew Holiday switched on to 4 men. He switched on to Julius Randle. Marcus Smart. These guys did that, which tells me that there's no reason to think that Joe Dumars couldn't have done this neither, which tells me that, especially how wide open the offense is in passing lanes. I mean, playing in the passing lanes, how these guys don't really know how to play in the passing lanes and how the ball moves. Alvin Robinson might be a 3 or 4 steal a game guy, the way that the ball moves and how careless these guys are with the basketball. Add that to the fact that then you have bigger defenders, like you talked about, Jaden McDaniels. I mean, Scottie Pippen is 6'9". And Scottie Pippen having to deal with 4 men that don't play rough and rugged on the block, like Otis Thorpe, like Malone, guys like that, where he can basically play primarily on the perimeter, because that's where these guys are. I think that their talent would be more enhanced if they played today. So Scottie Pippen, Joe Dumars, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Mutombo. I think these guys, Tim Duncan, I think that their talent would be more enhanced because of how wide open the game is. These guys aren't lumbering the way you think they are, Mars. But I can respect your logic about him, about the talent today, and I see it from your standpoint because of how the game is today. Because
I'm not arguing with the bigs, by the way. That's what I said. For David Robinson, Hakeem, Dikembe, Ben Wallace, whoever. Not arguing against the bigs. I think the bigs probably better defenders now, but some of them questionable in terms of guarding out on the perimeter. But overall, I'm not questioning them. And I do want to say, I do think every generation had defenders who could play in today's game. Scottie Pippen, for sure, would be probably the best defender in today's game from the perimeter. I'm not arguing against him. But from top to bottom, what this league has to offer, like borderline every team has an elite wing defender. And I don't think, A, that was the case, and B, when you had it back in the day, and you could ignore those guys in terms of if there was an Isaac Okoro back in the day, just kind of I don't like using the illegal defense thing, but they kind of it made it easier to have them out on the floor because you kind of had to guard them, even though you could just send the double hard off of them. But it made it easier for them to be out there. Whereas today you have guys like Asar Thompson or Isaac Okoro today, and they get ignored. And it makes it harder for them to be on offense, so they can't be as impactful on defense. You put those guys in an era where they still had to be out there on defense. Guys like Andre Roberson would have still been in the league prior to his injury. He still would have been in the league based on that respect he would have got. Jared Vanderbilt would be playing way more in that era than he would be today, based on the fact that he wouldn't be ignored on offense. So I think the fact that these guys have to be somewhat viable on offense to be able to bring their value on defense, some of the defensive specialists of the past wouldn't be able to play as much as they could back then. And that's no disrespect to guys like Tony Allen or whoever the case may be. I'm not saying they're bad players. I'm just saying the league was at a different point to where you could play guys like that.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in there real quick, Mars, because I'm listening to it, and I honestly, throughout this season and even some of last season, I've come to start watching. Like there are a lot of guys. You know, there's
also a lot of guys who don't play defense. I'm just
we're not even going to talk about them. I'm only going to talk about the good right now.
I like as a whole. I think it's raised though as a whole. The games I've been watching, it looks a lot more competitive on the. I've been focusing on the defensive end more than the offensive end, and not to cut you off, Fox, but I do want to say that I've been seeing teams compete.
Yeah, I see a lot of guys, more guys than I thought are playing defense. But I think it's dangerous. I think it's just a dangerous precedent to set when you say like make it harder because these guys didn't have to rotate as far just because of how prevalent the 3-point shot has become. Because then it makes people that don't really understand, it makes them think that those guys couldn't do that. Which I think the majority of those great wing defenders, if we're talking about, if we keep going back, Tony Allen's, Gary Payton's, Scottie Pippen's, all those guys, I think they could do it. I also don't want to minimize having to guard cutters and slashers as opposed to guarding 3-point shooters. It's a different level of difficulty, but I don't think it's any less difficult. If I you know what I'm saying, if I'm watching the ball or if I help off, if I lose my man that's cutting, that's an automatic bucket. If I lose my guy on the 3-point line, I mean, a great shooter to knock it down, but I'm more willing to help off the 3 than I am off the cutter. So that's the only reason I think a lot of times people see the compact style of play might have 2 guys in the paint at once, just might be cutting through, and people think like, oh, it's easier to guard that. But I'm not saying it's harder to guard it, but I'm just saying it's just a different level of difficulty. It's doing something else. Like if I gotta guard a guy that's rotating to the basket or cutting to the basket, there's a bigger room for error. You know what I'm saying? Like if I lose a guy going to the rim, the play's cooked. You know what I mean? So that's just I look at it that way too.
And there's a flip side to your logic, Mars. Like you talked about a guy like Isaac Okoro, who he would be awesome back then because, he didn't really have to stretch the defense. He was primarily a defender who could basically just be a guy throwing the ball into the post. Well, the flip side to that is you had guys like Ricky Pierce, right? You had guys like Paul Pressey who could actually shoot the ball from the perimeter, who could also defend, which means that when they came into today's era, they would enhance the game. And these guys aren't. And I don't think that these guys, when we're talking about elite defenders, I didn't even bring up guys like Eddie Jones, right? I didn't bring up guys like Dan Marley, who could stretch the defense also, plus play elite perimeter defense. Don't get me wrong, Miles. I can appreciate your logic on the talent level. And I think that talent level is enhanced by the way the game is. Just like back in the 90s, we saw the big man, and his talent level was enhanced because the offense ran through him. He was the game. So this is what it looks like today. I can't discount those guys back then because if I see what they're doing today, the way the game is played today, there are plenty of them from a talent standpoint. I think that they would mesh right into today's game because you brought up a guy like I brought up a guy like Joe Dumars. I mean, when I think about a guy like Joe Dumars, I think about Drew Holiday and how Joe Dumars could switch, but his primary responsibility was the 2 guard. The 1 played the 1, the 2 played the 2. There wasn't a lot of action where guys were switching. Guys got around screens. Guys got around curl screens. Guys got through screens, and they played one-on-one defense. You wasn't switching 2s onto 5s because the 5-man played the 5-man. But when you think about what the game is today, and if that was going on, I think that these guys would be able to. I think that these guys, from a talent standpoint, would be able to handle that, and I think that they'd raise their games.
Yeah, some for sure would. I do think it's just different. I guess different is what I'm saying because I'm not disrespecting the fundamentals of defense back then, but I will say the same way I think some players today lack those fundamentals in certain aspects. I think the players back then did too, but that's because they weren't used to that.
Back then.
They weren't used to, like, for example, if Larry Bird would come off a pin down, the amount of times I'd see defenders try and shoot the gap instead of chasing him round the screen, and then they end up just giving him a wide open jump shot. That's bad defense. But not many people were shooting like that off screen, so they weren't punished as heavily as they would be today. If you're chasing Steph Curry off a screen and you try and shoot the gap, you're giving up an open 3 every time. So like it's stuff like that where I'm like, okay, so the game is so different that the things they weren't used to doing, they'd have to do a lot more today, which also in contrast, the players of today wouldn't be used to doing some of the things that they would have to do back then. But I just think maybe it's a bias standpoint. I don't know. But for me, the responsibility of perimeter defenders today is a larger toll than the responsibility a while ago, in my opinion. So
I agree.
That's where I'm at with it.
I agree
in
with
terms
that.
of most talented.
Real quick, I want to ask you, Mars, if you could make a all defensive team, I'm talking about, but it's got to be a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and a center. If you could do that for each generation, which generation will have the best defensive team?
I'll probably start from the 80s. I think that's probably 70s. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll keep it there.
40 years is plenty of time.
Yeah, so can I put Sidney Moncrief at the 1? Is that allowed?
Came in 1980. I think Sidney Moncrief showed up in like 78. No, I'm sorry, in 80. I think that's when he showed up. So
definitely can.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You're asking, can you play him at point guard?
yeah, because he's played the 1 though, right?
He played the lead guard. He played the 1 and he played the 1 and the 2. He played the 2 later on in his career.
Right?
Yeah, later on in the trade.
That's what I'm asking.
He started at the lead guard, but then he moved over to the 2.
Let's put him at the 2, Mars. Let's put him at the 2.
At the 1 in the 80s, damn. Because I wanted to have Sidney Moncrief and Alvin Robinson. Okay. The 1 in the 80s. Am I missing someone glaring?
You're not.
Michael
Ray Richardson, Stockton.
Nah, he was out of the league for obvious reasons. I can't throw him in there.
Michael Ray Richardson, Stockton, Dennis Johnson.
The 90s.
Dennis Johnson.
Oh, DJ. Okay, DJ. Yeah, I'm bugging. Dennis Johnson, Sidney Moncrief.
Mo Cheeks.
Dennis Johnson, Sidney Moncrief. Hakeem's at the 5.
In the 80s.
Yeah. That's he got 5 years in the 80s. I'm still giving him that.
6.
How long did Bobby Jones play in the 80s?
So 85. 85 or 86.
Can I get away with Bobby Jones? Damn. Okay. The 80s is more difficult than I thought.
Yes, it is, Mars. A lot more.
A
lot more.
I did. I really thought. I thought this would be a lot more simple. Okay. So, I want to put Michael Cooper in there. He was 6'7". Can I put him at a 3? All right, cool.
You could put Michael, even though he played the 2, but
no, forget that, man. Forget that. Sidney Moncrief, Alvin Robinson, Michael Cooper. Oh no, I said Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson, Sidney Moncrief, Michael Cooper, Bobby Jones, Hakeem. That's what I'll go for the 80s. The 90s, GP, Gary Payton. MJ. Gary Payton, MJ, Scotty.
At the 3.
Yeah. Hakeem's at the 5 again.
Yep.
At the 4.
Hakeem holding down 2 decades at the 5. Check him out.
Hey, Hakeem a pretty good defender, man. He's solid.
Yes, he is. At the 4.
Dennis Rodman? Yeah. I'll go Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman at the 4. Oh, Earlie said hello.
What's happening, guys? I'm sorry. Valentine's Day. Oh man, it was crazy. How you guys doing? If y'all don't know
what
me,
was
I'm
crazy,
Earlie.
It took you a while to deliver the flowers?
Yeah, man. Listen, there was some other things going on. But look, happy Valentine's Day, fellas. Of course.
What up, Earlie?
For y'all that don't know me, I'm Earlie. Comedian, producer.
Which is actually ironic because he's late.
Yeah, gonna be late early.
Hey, Chip, I had $1 for every time I heard that joke, Chip. I would probably be a lot wealthier.
I was about to ask you. Used to hear that when you was late to school or something in the morning? All the kids were like, "Early, you're late." That was their running joke.
Early, never late. That's what they used to call me.
Oh, okay. Well, you changed.
I know.
As you were saying, Mars.
2000s. I'm on 2000s.
Yeah.
So you had
the 90s again?
The 90s was GP, MJ, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Hakeem. That's why I went with the
I think they got it.
Yeah, for real.
You can go ahead and we can end this right now.
2000s
about to be nice too, though.
J Kids at the 1.
Bryant.
Is it Kobe at the 2? Yeah, Kobe at the 2.
Bryant, yes.
KG at the 4.
We wanted now defenders in the 2000s.
Yeah, the all defensive team at each position. So KG at the 4.
Don't help him out
I'm
neither,
putting-
Early. Don't help him out.
KG's at the 4, and I'm putting Tim Duncan at the 5. I'm sorry, Ben Wallace. I'm putting Tim Duncan at the 5. And then at the 3,
I just would have ran KG at
Ron
the
Artest.
3.
Ron Artest. I'll put Ron Artest at the 3.
In the 2000s?
Mars.
What? Am I missing
You're
something?
not
Egregious?
starting Ben Wallace?
What you
I
want me to do?
get
Tim
it. I
Duncan.
get it. I get the
It's
Tim
Tim
Duncan.
Duncan. Like, what you want me to do? Like, I'm sorry. The 2000s has a lot of selection.
So hold on. Like you sincerely believe that the combination of Tim Duncan and KG would be better than the combination of Ben Wallace and KG?
Yes, it definitely would.
Yeah.
That definitely would.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because
Definitely
KG
is crazy,
I mean, if we talk
I ain't say definitely, but I also think Tim Duncan's a better defender than KG and
Yeah.
Ben Wallace. So,
Okay. Well, then that makes sense. And we got it. You got it right there. That's it.
and that's not disrespect to Ben Wallace, because Ben Wallace is an all-time great defender. I'm like, the 2000s is tough.
Yeah, for sure.
And who did I say who else? Ron Artest at the 3. That's what I said. Ron Artest at the 3.
Mhm.
2010s point guard is Chris Paul.
Mhm.
Yeah, Chris Paul. The 2.
Yeah, come on, Ross. Come on, Ross.
Wait, is it?
Come on.
Is it Tony Allen?
Yes.
Okay. 2 Tony Allen. Oh, Avery Bradley.
No.
Nah, we'll go Tony Allen.
No.
Kawhi at the 3. Draymond's at the 4. Rudy Gobert at the 5.
Who'd you have at the 1?
Chris Paul.
Paul. Mhm.
Rudy Gobert at 5?
Yeah, Rudy Gobert's for sure at the 5. Like, it's not even close to me.
Dwight
Early,
Howard?
get off. Early, get off of that.
Howard?
Early. Not in the 2010s. No.
He's making a compelling case for Dwight. Because 09 is
Not
the other.
in the
He
2010s.
was still elite 010 or 11. Come on now.
Yeah, but I think he
I'm
only got
I'm
4,
sorry,
maybe
2 years
4.
ain't 2 years ain't
No,
kind
Like
of
maybe
For the whole
I'll be generous and give.
I was
give him 4.
contemplating Drew Holiday.
I
over
might
Chris
take
Paul, but I
Joakim
don't know.
Noah over Gobert.
Okay, so
But he-
we just not rocking with Europeans. I see it.
No, it's
I'm
not
not
that.
mad at the joke,
It's
him,
not
though.
that.
Hey, Mars,
These
who'd you
dudes-
just say?
These
At
dudes
the
are
2?
stuck on. They stuck on what
At the
happened.
2, I said Tony Allen, but I said I was
They
contemplating
stuck
Drew
on.
Holiday over Chris Paul because I don't know where I'm at
Might
with
be the
that.
way to go.
You know
I also
where I
was also gonna try get Paul George in there at the 2, but I'm gonna respect Tony Allen. 2020s, Drew, Alex Caruso, Jada McDaniels, Giannis and AD. Giannis and AD. That's the 5 I'm going with. I think the 2000s is the best team personally, but the 90s is pretty good, and the 2020s is pretty good too.
In Mars, that was actually going to be
But
my
you got
case.
Rudy
to you.
Gobert in the 2010s, but you got AD in the 2020s.
Yeah,
I might say Serge Ibaka at center for the 2010s because he had a stretch where he was giving you.
When
I
at
don't
any-
understand
hold
the
on, Mark,
Rudy
Mark,
Gobert
hold on, Mark.
disrespect.
When at any point
I don't get
was
this- I don't
Serge
get the
Ibaka
disrespect.
considered the best defensive player in the league? What year?
We talking about playing center, man.
Once
talking
again,
about
what
accolades?
year was
But chill, we talking about
Serge
accolades?
Ibaka? What
We
year?
talking about accolades?
What year? Let's take the defensive player off the. Let's take the defensive player of the year off the table.
Okay, cool.
What year was Serge Ibaka ever considered the defensive player, the best defensive player from 2010 to 2020?
Didn't Serge lead the league in blocks like 3 times in a row?
I'm 100% confident. I just said let's take the defensive player off the year. Defensive
No,
player of the year.
I didn't say off
Yeah,
the. I ain't talking about defensive player. I'm talking about how he protected the rim.
I'm 100%
He
confident.
was literally the back end for the Thunder for many
Serge-
years.
What was
Serge
Rudy
Ibaka.
Serge
think he-
Ibaka deserves to be in this conversation, Chilton.
Does he?
No, Serge
I
was
think he
a great
deserves to be in this
defender.
conversation. I don't think he should be chosen, but he should definitely be.
So we
considered,
should
though.
basically be talking about him, even though when he was on that I believe it was that Oklahoma City team. When he was on that Oklahoma City team. He was a big reason why they was doing what they was doing, 100%. But I'm 100% confident. I saw the Utah Jazz go from 4th to 27th in the league when Rudy Gobert was off the floor. You can't have that kind of impact as a defender,
right,
and not be talked about. And these other dudes, that's not going on with them. That's not happening.
I think Rudy gets it.
Gobert fan. Maybe that's probably why.
I think Rudy gets it.
Chill. To say to 2010, your best defender at center is Rudy, it just breaks my heart. I don't think so. It can't be.
Why not?
It can be. It can be, and it is.
The reason why you on that is because I think that you still stuck on what you seen when they played against the Clippers. I don't think that you understand the impact Rudy Gobert had on his unit.
That was in 2021. That's not in the
By the way, that's
not in the 2010s. So.
Right. That was in 2021. I think that's what you stuck on. I don't think that the impact, I mean, there's a reason why they call him the stifle tower. Just like they call Ibaka, there's a reason why they call him the stifle tower.
I've actually never heard that.
I think Rudy also had a great unit around him. Like Royce could cover multiple people. Boban is a lot better than you think he is defensively. Mike Conley was solid for years. You know,
now we're getting to a point where we're lying to that disrespect. There's no way you said Bojan is better defensively than we think. Like,
no way.
Wait. He's not a good defender, but he's better than you.
He's better than you think.
No, he's just bad.
No, he's not.
Oh my
no,
God.
We wasn't talking.
Earlie, I'm with you on this one. When you bring up
Mars. We talking about the Jazz in there when it's Donovan and it's Rudy. That Bojan was doing pretty damn good defensively.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was not. No, he was not.
Yes,
he was.
He was the weakest link on the team.
The reason why Bojan, you don't talk about him like you talked about him in Utah is because he wasn't like that when he was in Detroit.
Didn't busy at 35 for the Knicks in the playoffs. Keep your eyes open.
So we're talking about him as a shooter.
From Aaron Holiday 2 days ago.
Aaron Holiday. You said Aaron Holiday?
If he was a spread, he couldn't cover up bad. Give me a break.
It gotta be somebody other than Rudy, y'all.
Nice. Defensively, I'm not about to hear cape for Bojan's defense. I'm sorry. I'm
not doing that. Absolutely.
No, I'm putting Rudy Gobert. It was between Rudy Gobert and Anthony Davis.
Rudy is your best center defender.
It was between Rudy Gobert and Anthony Davis, and I picked Rudy.
Early, I can't
see it falling down my eyes.
I think picking Rudy is an easy choice.
I don't understand why it's difficult.
I do think that there's. I think
I made a lot more.
Serge, I think Serge. We can even talk about DeAndre Jordan a little
trying to get him in somewhere. I was trying to
get LeBron the power forward and Draymond the center. Get Rudy out of there, man.
I'll put.
I wouldn't be mad at Draymond.
Kawhi at the 2 and LeBron at the 3.
We not moving Rudy Gobert off this list.
Yeah, who's at the 4? Mars, who's at the 4?
Draymond was.
Draymond the center.
You put Draymond at the 4.
Everything.
You put Draymond at
everything.
I had Draymond at the 4, but I'm
Kawhi at the 3.
LeBron peak defensively is up there, so LeBron could get in there. If I was
chill.
Over who? Draymond or Kawhi?
So chill. You think
I got Kawhi over LeBron?
The Mutombo of
Kawhi can play the 2.
Tony Allen can play the 1.
I actually
also get Chris Paul.
I actually think he's, to be honest with you, I actually think he's better than that because of what he does on the perimeter. I actually think
Rudy Gobert. What? You say Rudy Gobert on the perimeter?
Have you seen? You clearly haven't watched Rudy Gobert play defense lately.
He does. He just seen the highlight where Steph Curry spun him around.
That's all.
Rudy Gobert plays defense on the perimeter.
You talking to Mars?
You clearly.
Don't lie.
You're talking to the guy.
You're not about to say Mars, Lowe, and Jalen 200 apiece. That if the Nuggets play the Timberwolves in the series, the Timberwolves will win. So you ain't gonna talk to me about. And I'm an Ant. Listen, I'm an Ant fan so much he ought to put me on the payroll. Okay, so you ain't gonna tell me I don't watch Timberwolves games. What I'm telling you,
we're talking about the 2010s, so you have to watch Jazz games.
That's what we're talking about.
I did watch Jazz game. My favorite player.
No, you did not, Early, because you just sit there. He just sat here and told us that Bojan could defend.
You ain't my favorite player of all time.
You did not watch Utah in 2010s. Because you just said
you're telling me Rudy Gobert can't guard on the perimeter.
I'm gonna be real with you.
There's no way.
Not be nasty. Rudy Gobert is a great defender. I just don't like him. I don't want him to be. Wait,
think about say that. Okay, now we talking.
90s, 2010s. Rudy is in this. He in the building.
Chick ain't ugly. This chick is fine as hell. I just don't like her. Just say that. Just say that, because that's where you at.
Chill. And you're telling me if you walk in a room and you got a 5 lineup of best defenders for 80s, 90s, 2010s, you're telling me if you see Rudy Gobert in the corner, you ain't gonna be like, how'd you get in here?
In the 2010s.
How'd you get in here?
In the 2010s, well, wait a minute. First of all, when he showed up in the league from 2015 to 2020, it's between him and Anthony Davis. That's it. It's between him and Anthony Davis. 100%. Rebounding.
And the only reason I put AD is because he played the 4 in the 2010s. That's it.
Right.
Does DeAndre get a little love?
DeAndre Jordan?
DeAndre was good for a stretch from like.
I was thinking about him too.
DeAndre was good, but Serge, you won't give Serge no love?
None of them are
Serge
going
was
over
like
Rudy.
3 blocks a game for like 4
None,
years.
none
5
of them
years.
none of them are going over Rudy. Serge was
None of
also
them.
good.
Rudy is really
DeAndre had a little stretch for like 3 or 4 years where he was a very good defender. Joakim Noah had a stretch at the start of the decade from like 11 or 12 to like 14, 15.
That just shows you how weak the
he was a good
2010
defender.
centers are. Jesus.
I've been said that. Like that
Ugh.
That's when they were going the other way. That's when they were going the other way. Right?
And then Jokic and Embiid came in, kind of changed. But there's a few people who I feel like I could have got in there. LeBron is one of them in the 2010s. I feel like LeBron could have got in there.
Put LeBron at the 4. Draymond. Hey, look, put the defensive player of the year.
Andre Karolinko, I thought
Mark
could have got in there.
Mark
Andre
at the 5.
Karolinko.
Rudy,
Early, really, to keep it a buck, Rudy shouldn't just be on the 2010s team. He should be in the 2020s too.
Shut your mouth.
I think Giannis should get up off that list. AD should move to the 4.
No, we're not doing that, Ron.
Shut your
No,
mouth.
we're not doing that.
Now you talking, Ron.
Ron,
No,
AD is a
no,
better
no.
defender than
No.
Giannis.
I did consider it. I did consider it, but no.
Wait, no,
Get Giannis
Mark,
out of there, Chilton.
I said
Get
no.
Giannis
I
out
said
of
no.
there.
I'm just saying I thought about him.
You said a point guard. Not Mars. I'm sorry. Ox, you said a point guard. You said a 2 guard, a 3, a 4, and a 5. What 4 man is better defender? Is it Bam?
Anthony
Bam
Davis
played a 5. Bam played a 5. AD played
Bam
a 5.
plays the 5. Anthony Davis plays the 5. 100% he does.
In 2020, Anthony Davis played the 4.
You're not about to give me 8 months of the decade where he
Here we
played.
go.
The 4.
Hey, in the decade, his best run of the decade, he was a 4.
Ron, what does
up?
the Minnesota Timberwolves look like with AD? Not even offensively, just defensively playing for that team.
What with AD?
Yeah.
Instead of
At the
Cat?
five?
Oh yeah, instead of Cat, yeah, they're great.
What?
Man.
They-
No,
Hey,
it's
Mars.
Rudy. It's
Hey
Rudy.
Mars, whenever Ron let off
Mars,
that high
Mars,
pitch,
Mars.
whenever Ron let off that high pitch, hey, stop listening.
What do they look like with AD over there? And Jaden McDaniels too?
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Rudy,
They look like
So,
one of the best defenses of all time. That's what they
Okay,
look
so
like.
with that being said, what do they look like now? So we're
What do you
clear.
mean?
What
How good was the Timberwolves defense now?
what do they look like today?
Ooh, y'all want me to be nasty? I'm being
Please.
nasty. So I believe if you don't get rid of Vanderbilt in them and you don't get that big contract from Rudy, you keep Walker Kessler, they're the same team. With a more mobile perimeter defending big.
Bro, what's your problem? What's your problem with Rudy Gobert? Like, I like
Walker
Walker
Kessler.
Kessler.
Walker Kessler is not a better perimeter defender than
Didn't
Rudy.
sell the whole house. You keep
Or
Walker.
interior
Walker
defender.
Kessler is
Or
not a better
interior
perimeter
defender.
defender than Rudy.
Or
He's-
rebounder.
I didn't say. Whoa. Well, I didn't. Well, what I'm saying is that
You said more mobile perimeter defender. He's not.
First of all, I think what they do over there, he can be pretty damn good. And you get to keep Vanderbilt and them boys. You still got to
Okay,
keep on the bench,
so-
even more players. But you got a younger version. I think Walker Kessler can beat Rudy Gobert.
Early, here's the problem with what you just said. You said with him over there, he could be pretty damn good. Mars, can you please tell me if the season ended today, who is the defensive player of the year?
Oh, Rudy Gobert.
That's not pretty damn good, Early. That's not pretty damn good. That's elite. So if we're going from pretty good to elite, there's a huge gap.
Y'all gonna stop sleeping over Bam. They're gonna stop.
Nobody's sleeping on Bam. Absolutely
You
not.
sleeping on Rudy Gobert.
I saw Bam take the ball out the rim. Okay, first of all, Early, I saw Bam take the ball out the rim. I didn't know you could do that. I've been watching basketball since the 70s. I didn't know you could take the ball out the rim. I didn't know that you could do that. So I'm not sleeping on Bam as a defender. However, when I think about a guy, a big guy, when I think about a guy in terms of his impact, how important he is defensively for a crew, how big he is for this crew defensively, what Rudy does overall, he makes Cat a better rebounder. He makes Jaden McDaniels a better perimeter defender. He makes Mike Conley, who's long in the tooth, a better perimeter defender. You know why? Because when I got a guy behind me that's that good, that protects the paint, that rebounds, that rim protects like that, I can take chances. Not only can I take chances,
and I'm being nasty, you arguably got Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen at Jaden McDaniels and at Edwards. It ain't that hard, okay? You out there, you getting fed a lot of, listen, their on-ball defense, I watched them strap the Celtics down in the fourth quarter completely. So I'm be real with you. That if you're talking about a defensive player of the year, I'm going with AD.
I don't know that went right. I got stuck on the. You got Jordan and Pippen on the wings. That's where I got stuck at. I'm sorry,
fellas. We got to move on from this segment,
man.
I am with the times. That's why I think Rudy Gobert is a lot better than what you think he is.
I think Ant could be one of 3 players who could be MVP and defensive player of the year. other than Giannis, Hakeem, and Jordan. The only 3 in history.
I suppose.
And when do you think this is going to happen, Early?
I think this is the next. Y'all talk about players that we see. I think the next 2 years, Ant's the face of the NBA completely.
No. I'm not mad at that. I'm talking about the defensive player and the MVP.
I think
in
the next 2
5 years down the line.
I think in all honesty, like I say, I will give you this. When you got a guy like Rudy, it does shade away from what, like, you know what I'm saying, from you being able to show your talents as much because you got a guy that they're gonna say, oh, he always cleaned it up. But I think Ant, and then I don't listen. Here's the thing about Minnesota. I don't like Ant in Minnesota. I think Minnesota is a wasteland. And I swear to God, if he played for the Knicks or one of these type of teams, he would be literally top 5. But I do believe that in
Early, what are you talking about? The Knicks lost 50 games for 5 straight years. They were a poverty franchise. This Minnesota team actually has viability. They're at the top of the Western Conference. The only reason why you don't see them like that is Minnesota.
Thank Patrick Beverly changed the culture over there and say he didn't. He did. He did change the culture over there. What would they same way Chris Paul changed the culture in the Sun? What was Phoenix before Chris Paul?
The same thing that Jimmy Butler changed the culture. Don't players change cultures? Okay,
no,
sure.
Chill, you're being nasty because we had
Jimmy
Butler
Butler
is just a Heat player. Patrick Beverly came to Minnesota and literally changed. And listen, I know Pat talk a lot of smack, but everywhere Pat goes, just like a PJ Tucker, they win, man. They win. They win.
The Bucks are 2-1 now with them.
They win.
But fellas, I gotta move along.
2 years,
we got super chats.
2 years MVP defensive player of the year.
All right. We're gonna write that down. We're gonna keep that in the notebook. We got super chats. We also got a lot of people in here. I want to shout out everybody that's watching the video. Salute to y'all. If you haven't been to www.playerschoicemerch.com, go check it out. Go see what we got. Go get you a beanie. Go get you a hoodie. Go get you a crew neck. Also, playback.tv. Go follow us at Players Choice. Go join our room. Tonight, it will be the lovely Haley and the infamous ZZ. They'll be watching the Clippers and the Warriors. You guys go check them out. It will be at 6:45 Pacific time, which is 9:45 Eastern time. You guys be sure to go check them out on Playback. That's a good game tonight. As for super chats,
speaking of checking something out, Mars, I'm checking out that hoodie you got on. You know how dope that hoodie would be if it said Players Choice.
I be wearing hoodies every show. No one of them reps the brands.
How dope that hoodie would be if it said Players Choice. I'm just gonna put that on your mind, Mars. I mean, how dope that hoodie.
I've been thinking about it too, man.
So,
Hey Mars, you what you like 20? Is it weird like having a George Jefferson hairline at 20 years old?
17.
Here we go.
I wouldn't know.
My hairline's been receding since I was 8. So
you could probably. I'm sure you can see his hairline with them glasses you got on early. I'm sure you can see them. The Coke bottle glasses you got.
Chill.
We got jokes all day. We got jokes all day up here.
Word on the street, chill. You so old. One-on-one with Jesus after the last supper.
Not only did I play one-on-one with him. Not only did I play one-on-one with him, he told me about your chick, and that's how I got with him. So
word on the street is chill. You took the picture of Will holding the 100 sign.
Absolutely. Yes, I did. Yes, sir.
And Ron, I love you, but you know you look like if Dave Chappelle and Whippy had a baby, right?
I'm
here all week. I'm sorry, I'm here all week.
They made it genius. Hey, Cheese sent through 5 Players Choice memberships. So if you got one of those, salute to you. Salute to Cheese too. Shout out to Cheese. Alan L said we saw the meat and potatoes of the game yesterday.
Which game was that?
You're talking about the Kings Warriors game. I mean,
no, he's not. No, he is not.
I think it's best we just don't know. I think it's just best.
Shout out to Open Gym exposing the meat and potatoes of the game. Somebody had to. Andra 15789 said, I said Luka's a bum. If Luka's a bum, what is Sabonis?
First of all, let's get one thing out the way. No, he didn't, Marks, because I said Luka was a bum because the boy got out of shape and fat in the middle of February last year. I said he was a bum. I said those are bum tendencies. I said that's what I said. I said those are bum tendencies. That's just what it is. Second of all, y'all don't know nothing about no basketball in the Czech Republic. Boy, go do something else, man.
Can we be? I said yesterday on Open Gym that I believe that if the Kings had KP, they'd be a better team. I said it.
Porzingis?
Yeah.
There was a whole argument between who's better between Sabonis and Porzingis.
So we taking
Sabonis
off the floor.
I love KP.
Wait, we taking Sabonis off the floor. We replacing him with KP.
We replaced him with 22-10. 22-10. Listen.
No
Phil,
way.
the assists, I get it. We go on the assists. But I think Sabonis, not Sabonis, but I think KP can easily average. I think he averaged like 12 rebounds in New York. So I don't think
he didn't. No, he did not.
He averaged like 10 in Washington.
No, he was a 28 guy in New York.
Easy though, Chill, right?
He was a 28 guy in New York. That's the most rebounds he ever averaged in New York.
So now we giving you a 3. We giving you a 3. We giving you mid-range, and he's one of the most successful post-up players in the league today, and was top 3 last year. Not to mention. In that series versus the Warriors last year, we looking at Draymond, we looking at Looney. Sabonis takes him down. You can't leave. I'm not Sabonis, but you can't leave KP open for that mid range.
Okay,
but there wasn't the problem with Sabonis. The problem for Sabonis was not like people keep focused on him not shooting that top of the key jump shot. That was not the issue. The issue was the long rebounds and what's my man name? Kevon Looney was getting long boards. That's other than that. If you rewatch the series like I've had to. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to just see it again to make sure I wasn't tripping. That was not even an issue in the series. You know what I mean? So with that being said, like I guess KP's more versatile as a scorer. That's a fact.
But that's what you need.
That's not what we need. That's not our issue. Like that's not an issue at all. We got people that can score the basketball. The problem is we want every basketball player to be able to do everything from every position. That's just not how the game goes. Like we don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna take this time to disrespect Kristaps because I love Kristaps and I like Kristaps. I like Kristaps before he got there, and I was pushing for Kristaps when everybody was saying that. What has he ever shown? What has he ever done? Well, he's always been the first option. Now being the second, third, sometimes even fourth option, Kristaps Porzingis is thriving in this role. I love Kristaps, but I don't think he's better than Domantas at all.
No, I didn't say he was better than Domantas. What I said,
right.
Kings would be better with him.
So he fits better. So you think he fits better? You think he fits better? You think he fit better on Sacramento than KP?
Yes, I think Domantas' ability to score outside of the post really hurt him because what I've seen in Domantas a lot of times is that when it comes to the bigger centers, he's not really getting the work that he normally would get. I watched him last night versus Suns. When they took Nurkic out, he literally brought y'all back down 8. It was 102 to 110. Every bucket was him, back to back, bang, bang, bang. As soon as they put Nurkic in, they stopped going to him.
That ain't his fault.
He stops posting up. Like, what happened? Now the Nurkic, you going on hot streak.
Now you have a slow-footed big man. You want to draw him out, and that's why Sabonis being such a great passer draws Nurkic out the paint, allows the perimeter players to cook.
Which is what happened yesterday.
But in those,
that's why he's so hard to guard.
And they lost. You
can't go small against Sabonis because he kills you in the post.
In those games,
and then you go big, and then he's drawing the big out of it.
2 minutes left. You want to shoot jumpers, or you want to go to your big man who literally just gave you 8 buckets in a row?
You want to go to your big man.
Like
that part, I'm not gonna argue. Yeah, you do want to go to your big man, but you got to.
They were gassed.
But to Mars's point, that's not why they lost the game. They got KD. And that's what it was at the end of the game yesterday. Right. What was that about?
Sabonis should have got the rebound at the end. But
after Sabonis gets 8,
definitely he should have got that rebound.
They go down court and shoot 3 bad jumpers. 3 bad jumpers. After your big man just gave you 4 good points in the paint, easy buckets. Now you're shooting jumpers. You got Fox dribbling around too much, shooting fadeaways. Clearly he's tired. You can see he's tired. Then you got Monk shooting bad threes. Clearly they tied. Like that ain't how you win at the end of a game.
The reason why
that transition 3 from Monk, I typically don't like transition 3s, but for him in that situation, I was feeling that shot. I wasn't mad at that shot at all. Just want to.
Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
When I'm talking about Sabonis, I'm talking about a guy who spreads the defense. Don't get me wrong. They was using him on the block when Nurkic was out the game, and when Nurkic gets back in the game, we drag Nurkic away from the bucket, which now opens up the bucket for more action for guys like Monk, for more action for guys like De'Aaron Fox, for more action for guys like Herter. So they open up the game more for them. And on top of that, he can attack Nurkic on the perimeter, which is what he did. But he's more of a passer in that offense because they run that offense like they run it in Denver. So I don't think they do that with KP. They put KP on the block, they put him in the mid post, and he ain't the passer that Sabonis is. So that offense would. I'm not saying he's not a bad passer, but that offense wouldn't be as fluid as it is with Sabonis in it. No, I'm definitely not buying that.
I see what you're saying though, Earlie. Though I see your points, and that it makes sense. Like just depending on what style you want to play. But with Mike Brown, the offense that we run, I agree with Chilltown. I think it's more set for a guy like Domantas. But there are some coaches that run a different style of offense where obviously a guy like KP would thrive more than Domantas. So it just depends on style of play.
And get Mitchell out.
Porzingis would never.
What is Donovan Mitchell doing? You've been in the league 3 years. You still can't shoot. Get him out of Sacramento, dog. You're in the way.
You mean Davion?
Yeah, get Mitchell out. Get Mitchell out of there. Come on, man. Come on.
Relax, Earlie.
Come on, man. and he missed the off night at 6'1", but when you go against the 6'5" Booker, you getting your muffin cooked. He was busting here.
Early.
Early.
It ain't nothing you could do with that. It ain't no defender that got anything for that.
Put bars on him. That's what you could do with that.
That's about it.
I play some put me on them. I play some defense. Yeah.
No, Mars, we're not doing that. No.
Right.
Get Mars off the floor. If we're gonna get Mars off the floor, 100%.
Ball Talk shot through a super chat and said, "Let last night be another reminder. J-Dub is him. A real star is blossoming in front of our eyes. We are going to have some real uncomfortable convos next season, and I will be pushing the agendas."
One of my favorite players.
It just takes 1 year.
Santa Clara.
It don't take long. It doesn't.
It just take a good year. And don't get me wrong, J-Dub is cold, but I don't know if it's time to push agendas yet.
It was interesting hearing Shaq on commentary.
I didn't even hear.
Yeah,
Shaq. That's the problem with Shaq though. He be playing too much. I don't never know. You know what I'm saying? Like
if he's serious or not.
Yeah,
that's why he lost. That's why he got his jersey retired and they get their ass whipped. That's what they get.
I think he did a pretty good job. I'm gonna be honest. I think he did a pretty good job on commentary. I think he was okay.
I was watching the like what they were doing at the gym yesterday. They were talking about just the history of the Magic and when Shaq got there and how things changed. It's like that was a dope time to be around. You know what I'm saying? Like I was too young. I was too young, obviously, to remember when Shaq got to the league. But like that just seemed like a dope time. Shaq was really that dude. Like a Holly, like turned Orlando up though. That was fine.
So from hot dogs in the post game, hot dogs and pizza to it's lobster back.
You believe him and Penny would have won chill if they stayed together?
I do. I think that they would have won it.
When it got hurt.
Penny got hurt.
Penny didn't get hurt.
He got hurt because once Shaq left, he had to be like they was using him like LeBron. He got banged up a lot. Shaq, he had to deal with all that punishment. They were a point forward when Shaq
wore him down. They ran him into the ground. Yeah, they wore him down.
Had him trying to average 10 rebounds. They got him in a post more. Like he was able to eat better when Shaq was, you know what I'm saying, be more free. When Shaq left, they made him a big man basically, power forward.
Yep.
You know, a little something, chill. You know, a little something.
And I also didn't know that Shaq's the reason they drafted Penny. Like I didn't know that the Blue Chips movie
they did together.
Blue Chips.
Off of Blue Chips.
I love that movie, but I never knew that because I knew Memphis obviously wasn't a big school, but I figured still like everybody knew about Penny. So I thought that was kind of dope that Shaq was like, yo, who is this? You know what I'm saying? And then like made them.
I was surprised he didn't know about. I was surprised he didn't know about him.
Yeah.
I when he said that to me, he was like, yo, who is this dude? I was like, you don't know who.
But you know your cousin, and also that's my homie too, because my homie did commercials with him, all that. I love Shaq. He's a wild boy. But I think with Shaq, you know, he be in his own world, man. He really be in his own world.
I don't know who this dude is.
Shaq be in his own world. He's not familiar with a lot of people's game. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I'm like, my thing is, I love Shaq. Shaq, one of my favorite players. I got Shaq ranked very high, very, very high. My only discrepancy with Shaq is that he bailed on Penny. I think Shaq should have stayed right there in Orlando.
You being nasty, right? You being nasty, right?
I'm not. He bailed on
No,
Penny.
not nasty at all.
Why
would you leave Anthony?
He wanted his bread.
Chill. You know they wouldn't pay him.
That was the problem.
He wanted his bread. That's not bailing. We just spoke about it we spoke about it yesterday.
Ron, I told you this already, Ron.
If the Magic said he was worth $100 million, and the Lakers said, I bet he is.
If the Orlando Magic that offer that Orlando, the offer that the Lakers offered Shaq, if Orlando would have put that on the table, he would have never left. He didn't want to leave Orlando. He didn't want to leave.
Those was different times, though, right? Like
in the conversation about Kobe Bryant,
it was different. It was different.
The conversation about Kobe be a lot different.
But I'm saying those was different times. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no disrespect.
You know, paying a man that much money in those times was just different.
Yeah, but Shaq knew what he was worth, so he went.
No, definitely.
Where
I'm not.
a team was going to pay him what he wanted.
It's not. I'm not mad at Shaq. It's just like, damn, I wish you would have stuck with Penny, as opposed to Stephon Marbury. Like, you a bozo. Like, why would you leave my man KG like that?
I think SGA leads the Thunder eventually too, honestly. And I'll be real, the Thunder ain't serious to me until they put Dort on the bench and get a legit center. Chat is a power forward. Get a legit center. They needed like a Rudy Gobert type of guy.
They just got BismackBiyombo. They chilling.
And they just got Gordon Hayward.
We disrespecting Bismack right now? That's crazy.
That'd be nasty.
Now we disrespecting Bismack. So, okay.
Hey, I mean, he just said how he feels about Biyombo. So imagine how he feels about.
Y'all don't want to be nasty. I think Bill Russell is BismackBiyombo in the 60s.
How we get to Bill Russell?
Send him to hell, Ron. Send him to hell.
How we get to Bill Russell? See, this the issue.
Send him to hell,
you bring people up here. They just want to start saying out loud.
That 4K footage been coming out. Boy, Bill looking real unathletic in the 60s, man.
You bring people
hey, Ron,
up.
I gotta go get some fresh air, bro. I'll be right back.
High definition.
He wants to stay up here, so he want to start saying nonsense.
High definition of that on people.
That's the problem. I blame Ron for this. All Ron.
So,
This is all.
Hey, chill. Get him off the court. Get him off the court, man. You know, he can't score in the post. His rebounding was the best thing about him. He ran back. Hey, Bill, he was like, listen, man. Woo, boy. That 4K footage be looking bad for Bill, man. When you can really see them shorts and them chucks, boy. Woo, Bill, get off the court, man. What are you here for?
Yo.
Oh, man. I'm just being nasty, guys, though. Bill's one of the greatest of all time. I'm just being nasty.
Eli the Misfit said Martian Gortat over Bill Russell. There you go. You just started it early.
No, Ron, you started it.
No, I didn't start anything.
You the one who started this, Ron. This is your fault. You the one who started
has agreed. And this is the thing we got to tax players on. If you can't cook in every era, Bill wouldn't touch the court. Once the 2000s came around, Bill, get on the bench. He would be, come on, guys. Bill could not last in any other era but probably the 60s and 70s. We talking about 80s, 90s, 2000s. Boy, Bill would have been cooked. And I do know players. But
Ben Wallace is just fine. But Bill Russell can't play.
Bill didn't do what Ben did. Bill didn't do what Ben did. Have you but chill. I've watched immense tape now lately. Ever since the 4K becoming out, I've watched a lot of tape. Bill really was like a 6'9", 6'10" in an era where like he could get busy. Ben was very, and another thing, I heard somebody say that, you know, Dennis Rodman can play in this era. Well, Asur Thompson is doing it right now. Asur Thompson is a 6'7", 6'8", small forward who's giving you 10 rebounds. He blocking shots, his perimeter defense. Them brothers, boy, they can defend. Their athleticism is crazy.
Get back to Bill Russell. We don't care. Get back to Bill Russell. All
right, bet. So, for me, Bill Russell was the type of player, I think, that in the era he was in, you were probably the only center that was 6'10" or better who was 40-something% from the field. Like, Bill was literally a dirty work guy. Like, how you say, Chill? He was the definition of a dirty work guy. And he had the best team. He had the best team. Even when I watch Wilt in that era, I'm looking at Wilt like, no, Wilt can play. Wilt would have dominated a lot of eras. A lot of eras. Wilt was really that good. Really that skilled. Really smooth on the court. Great rebounder. Knew how to like, you know, same way Dennis Rodman talks about being able to track the ball, was great tracking the ball, great post defender, could be a better passer. But I think if Rudy Gobert can get off in this era, Wilt Chamberlain would have been amazing. And I think Wilt Chamberlain was a better defender than Bill Russell.
I'm sorry, Ron. I would love to do this, but I can't, because to listen to this dude talk to me about him being 6'10", like he's the only 6'10" dude running around. Like Willis Reed was 6'9". Chamberlain was over 7 foot.
You talking about people who were skilled?
Chamberlain was over 7 foot. So we're talking about the era of Bill Russell when he was shooting the basketball at 43%. Chamberlain was the anomaly. That was actually the going rate. what the majority of the bigs were shooting at that time. It wasn't just like Bill Russell was shooting 43% and everybody was shooting 48, 49, 52% because they weren't. No, that was actually the going rate. Add that to the fact that Bill Russell could actually score. How do I know that? Because Bill Russell proved that he could score. He averaged 20 and 20 in the playoffs 4 straight years when they was winning NBA championships. He wasn't 10 a game. So add that to the fact of him being a dirty work guy. Add that to the fact of him being a defender and how smart he was and the freak athlete that he was, because we're talking about a guy who was invited to be on the Olympic team as well. So in addition to all of that, him being on quote unquote great teams, it wasn't just him being on great teams. He enhanced them, because last I checked, this team that he was on in 58, I believe it was 58, that team that he was on. The same team 2 years ago, they were the slowest paced team in the league. You get Russell on that team in 58, 59. They go to number 6. And if I'm not mistaken, they win the NBA championship. Why? Because Russ cleans glass. Why? Because Russ finishes in transition. Why? Because Russ does all of those other things that makes Bob Cousy better. That makes all of these guys on this Boston Celtic team better. It's not just he just benefited from being on a damn good team. If Russ played in the 2000s, if Russ played in the 90s, he would still be awesome. Still be awesome.
So chill. Name me another a great or legit center in that era who wouldn't have won just as much with the Celtics. From Thurman to Hayes to Will. Name me another center who wouldn't have.
Well, we don't know any of them. The reason why is because we didn't see them. So you can't say that. We don't know. We didn't see any of them. But Nate Thurman
in the 60s.
Elvin Hayes. Elvin Hayes showed up.
70s player.
Well, he showed up. He showed up in 69. So
he came in like a year before Kareem. He's a 70s guy.
Yeah, he showed up in 68, 69. Right. But there's no way that you're selling me that not Elvin Hayes, like Willis Reed or
Nate
Thurman or Wally Jones or Wally or any of these guys could have done what Bill Russell done and they wouldn't have missed a beat in Boston. No, that's not true. Bill Russell brought a different aspect to the Boston Celtics, not just defense, not just rebounding. He sped their transition game up. He did a whole bunch of other things that these other players could not do, not just leadership. I'm not just talking about leadership. I'm talking about from his game, being able to finish around the rim, being able to run down guys on defense. None of those guys were the defender that Bill Russell was. None of those guys were the consistent rebounder that Bill Russell was. I mean, we're talking about a guy who pulled down 51 balls in the game. 51. He wasn't just
how many of those were contested though? Shit,
probably like 40 of them. Probably like 40 of them, even though he was going up against some of the best competition. So
Mars,
you're talking about an all-time great player. When you're talking about an all-time great player, his game does translate. Talking about a guy who rebounds, you need that in the 80s. You need that in the 90s. You need that in today's game. When you're talking about the game being faster, in the 60s, it was one of the fast-paced. I think they had one of the fastest in NBA history. So that tells me that Bill Russell, he can play fast. He can definitely play fast, definitely rebound the basketball, definitely get out in transition. He would be awesome today. I don't think he would win as much off the strength that guys don't stay together as much as they did in the 60s and 70s, but he would still be awesome today.
Mars, would Bill touch the floor in 2010s?
I don't think so, but I've always said I don't judge people by their ability to play in different eras. I judge
how Mars. If Ben Wallace can play, why can't Russ play? If Ben Wallace can play,
y'all being real disrespectful to Ben.
Why?
I just don't think 60s game translates to the 2010s. That's what I'm saying. 2000s, man, maybe, probably.
Chill, you think
he's not as strong as Ben Wallace was, so that advantage wouldn't be there. But everything else, I mean, rim protection, rebounding, he's a better passer than Ben Wallace was. So like those things, yeah. But Ben Wallace, I think, lasted as long as he did because he was so strong. Bill Russell wasn't as strong as Ben Wallace. I don't think he was more
better defender.
I disagree with that. Well, I mean, yeah. Relative to era, yeah, sure, because Bill Russell could guard the perimeter, but he was guarding people who couldn't use their left hands. So I mean, yeah, there's that. So that's why I say I don't care. Chill cares about like how your game travels, and I understand why he cares about that. Me personally, I just care about what you did at the time, and the stuff I've heard you say about how impactful Bill Russell was at the time is crazy. But I've never made the argument that Bill Russell could play in the 2010s or today's game. I've said many times I don't think he would. I just don't care. That's where I'm at. I just the same. Like I don't think the ball handlers of today could play in the 60s because everything they do would be called a travel and a carry. That doesn't make them worse to me. So that's how I view it. I don't care how their game travels, and I think it always favors the current players and never favors the older players, because if you put Steph Curry in the 60s, all his jumpers are worth 2 points.
Yeah,
now all of a sudden he's not as valuable because he's not getting an extra point.
Bad shooter who take bad shots, low key.
Yeah, he's just taking 30-foot jump shots that are worth 2 points. You're not getting any extra benefit from that.
Hey, if you was coaching Steph back then and he was shooting them long ass tools, you would be pissed.
He'd be on the bench. He'd be on the bench.
So,
I think Wilt.
That's how I'm viewing it. I'm like, I don't care how people like. I don't care how Steph Curry's game travels to the 60s when every time he's going to put the ball between his legs into a step back, he's getting called for a travel and a carry on one play, and he's shooting a bunch of 25-foot shots that are worth 2 points. And the coaches are like, "Why are you doing that? Give it to the big man. Play inside out, because there's no reason for you to shoot that when it's not worth an extra point." It doesn't matter to me how Bill Russell's game travel. What matters to me is how good and how impactful he was at the time. And if you doubt his impact at the time, then I just disagree with you.
I think and we're going to see a lot of Wilt and Wemby. I think in these upcoming years, I think Wilt translates to every era, dog. For him to be as big and lanky as he was and be so fast, like he's the definition of like how Shaq say, you get down there, you post up, quick buckets. He giving you 8 to 10 buckets a quarter easily. With Wilson and the way he moved. Easy.
Wilt was nice.
All right, y'all. Back to the super chats. My man Almighty Lambo said, Mars, was your list based off peak or what they did through the entire decade?
More so peak, but if you had a longer stretch of being elite in the decade, I considered it. That's why I said I'm not 100% confident in every pick I made. There's some guys who I feel maybe I put on a bit too hastily, some guys who I left off who maybe could have made it. So like those lists aren't definitive. I mean, I just thought of them on the spot. So it's not like I'm certain those are the 5 best or the best in each position. But for the most part, I think it was pretty accurate, but it was mainly off peak, mainly of how good you were at your best.
Mars, I do want to get back to that though. And I think like currently they definitely have a good case being the best crop of perimeter defenders of all time. But once again, I got to say that we got to put a little more respect on the 2000s. I think I personally have the 2000s, but guys like Jason Kidd, Bruce Bowen, Meta World Peace. You could even say guys like Sean Marion, Andre Kirilenko, Kobe Bryant. Chris Paul was in the 2000s too. Guys like that. It's probably some other guys that I'm forgetting as well.
Raja Bell, Shane Battier, D Wade. Those names. Yeah, for sure.
2000s was tough, and I think those guys definitely come and play defense in this era.
Yeah, but it was also 2000s to me was the easiest era to play defense, and that's no disrespect. But that's why I think
physicality or the way the game was played.
Physicality is a big part of it. The fact that they removed illegal defense, but then also allowed zones, makes it a lot easier. And it was an era where, because of illegal defense, you had people who couldn't shoot, who were viable, and then they got rid of it, but then the people who couldn't shoot were still there. So now it makes defense easier because those offensive liabilities are out there, but without providing the value that illegal defense allowed them to provide, meaning you could shrink driving lanes on everyone. Like I always go and I look back at like how teams like the Celtics defended Kobe. If illegal defense existed, they could not defend him like that. They had Kendrick Perkins slid all the way on the other side of the lane, clogging up his driving lanes. Then you had a great point of attack defender on him. Then you had KG just hovering over on the other sides of the paint if Kobe somehow managed to break that. And then you got weaker shooters in the corners who they're not really worried about. It's like that wouldn't work in the 90s. And I'm not saying that discredits them. I'm just saying it made it easier for them to play defense. So I think the 2000s had some of the best defenders of all time, for sure. But I do think the reason why the defense was so good is because the offenses were so much worse based on the players in the NBA, which made defense easier, which I guess kind of makes sense. If the offense is at its best, the defense is going to look worse. If the offense is at its worst, the defense is going to look better. It goes hand in hand. But that's how I view it. But the 2000s definitely has some of the best defenders.
Hey, so you think, like, let's say you can go back and take the illegal defense out. You think Kobe goes from doing what he did, and you think that that production goes up tremendously.
Yeah, I've always said, if you put
Did we get deprived of Kobe?
if you put Kobe in, the 2000s is the most disadvantageous era Kobe could have played, in my opinion. You put him in the 90s or the 80s where illegal defense existed, and that allowed more spacing because of the non-shooters being forced to space the floor. Or you put him in today's game where there's no technically illegal defense, but because basically everyone can shoot, you can't just clog the driving lanes like you could in the 2000s, because the spacing is technically what illegal defense was. It's just back then the people couldn't actually space, but you were forced to guard them. Now you're not forced to guard them, but because they can shoot, you still have to guard them. So it has the same principles as illegal defense. You put Kobe in the 90s or in the 2010s or 2020s, he looks much better than he did in the one era where defenses were allowed to key on him more, which is why I don't care about, Kobe was 45% from the field. Like, yeah, you're going to shoot a lower percentage when you're in the era with the least amount of spacing that's ever existed. You put Kobe in the 90s where it's a more of a one-on-one game where teams had to either send a hard double or they had to leave you one-on-one and they couldn't shade over to your side. Kobe shooting.
We're talking about a peak. We're talking about a peak, Bryant.
Yes, like 03 to like 08 Kobe, okay, 01 to like 08 Kobe.
Right. We're talking about a peak Bryant, right?
He's doing ridiculous in either of those scenarios. He's just in an era where the defense was different. And I'm not saying that means Kobe's higher all the time, because like I said, I don't care about how your game looks in different eras. Right. I'm just saying, if you look at Kobe and can't see how his game would look so much better in every other era.
Yeah, if you love Devin Booker and Tatum and
like Kobe would look so much better in every other era other than his own.
If Devin Booker averaged 40 in the playoffs, Kobe is definitely averaging 40 or better.
Yeah, that's why Kobe wasn't done dirty by his era, because anyone who watches him understands. But the people who just watch basketball on a spreadsheet and compare his efficiency to guys like Mike or to guys of today's league like Devin Booker, like the fact that I've heard people say Kobe wouldn't be the best scorer in today's league, like, shut up. I'm gonna be honest, so shut up. So like those people, they don't understand the context of how the basketball is played. But the people who do understand, I think they would probably all understand what I'm saying and where I'm coming from. And that doesn't mean Kobe's the best player ever, or it doesn't mean Kobe's better than MJ. I'm not saying any of those things, even though I think you can make the argument. But Kobe definitely would look different in every other era, for sure.
It's almost like quite to say Donovan Mitchell is a great 3-level scorer. Like, he's one of the best 3-level scorers in today's game. And with Kobe, like, it being like almost similar as how quick he was, his ability to get the mid-range and the three-pointer, and then being 6'6" and more physical too. Like, if Donovan can average 30, what are we talking about?
And being able to shoot the long ball and finish at the rim like he does.
Yeah.
With the game so wide open, and
we added 4 more inches.
The reason why I said Mars the peak Bryant is because, I mean, he did play in the 90s.
Kobe was in the 90s, yeah.
Right, he played in the 90s. So, and unfortunately for him, fortunately for him, he was on a vet team, but unfortunately, we didn't really get to see what he really could have been like at that young age. Because he was playing with Shaq. Yeah, he was
the youngest player in the league too.
He wasn't 17 the whole time. He was 17 as a rookie in 1996. You're right. He played 4 seasons in the 90s.
How young he was throughout that whole time.
But the point,
I think Kobe struggles without Shaq if he comes to the league by himself.
The point that I'm making is when he gets in the 2020s, right? And he gets in when he gets in the late 2010s and the 2020s, how wide open the game is, how the long ball has opened up the game, how the big man isn't in the paint like he used to be. And I don't mean the big man in the paint offensively. I mean the big man in the paint defensively. So the big man, so instead of dealing with Olajuwon in the paint, instead of dealing with David Robinson, he's dealing with Hassan Whiteside. These are the kind of dudes that he's dealing with getting to the rim. I think that his finishing would go through the roof. So add all of that up with him being a mid-range shooter, right? Add all of that up with him being money from the stripe. Add all of that up, his game would definitely be enhanced. I
they call fouls chill in this era.
Yeah, there's no way I'll argue
that. Like 10 to 12 times a game.
Yeah, I won't argue that. If James Harden's going to the free throw line 11 times a game,
you know what I'm saying?
If James Harden's going to the free throw line 11 times a game, Bryant is going to the free throw line at minimum.
Manipulate 10. The system for sure.
Yeah, at minimum 10.
Yo, Earlie, you only got a couple more minutes up here, but do you have your top 10?
As far as all time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting at this point.
Well, we know Bill Russell not in it. Yeah, we know Bill Russell.
We already know that for a fact. We know for a fact he ain't on it.
No, I'm just playing. So we got to go Jordan. for me. I'm going Jordan. I'm going Bron. Here's where it gets tricky. I'm not the biggest Kareem fan, even though he has a lot of great accolades. I actually put weird, but I put Timmy at number 3 all time. At number 4, just because of what he did for the game, I do Magic. At number 5, I actually do Shaq all time. At number 6, I go Kobe at number 6. At number 7, I go Olajuwon. Number 8, Bird.
All right, Earlie. Come on. Stop playing with me, Earlie. Come on, we at 8.
Keep going, Early. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
You mentioned him at 3, so you knew he had a case at 3 because you mentioned him at 3. You mentioned him at 3.
I go Kareem.
All right.
And then at number 10, who would I go number 10? I want to put Curry there, but I'm not the biggest fan of Curry. I think he got off really easy. So at number 10, I'll probably go, just because it's me, I'm being nasty.
Scottie Pippen?
No. Because he was my Michael Jordan growing up, in my eyes, Dwayne Wade.
I knew he was going Dwayne Wade. I knew it.
I love
so
it.
wait, where'd you have Kobe?
Number 6.
Where'd you have Tim Duncan?
3. I think 3 all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Tim Duncan's ability to be great at power forward for 10 years damn near, and then sit up for 10 years. I think like
you have Hakeem in there?
You got him at 7.
7.
You got him at 7.
Why
is Jabbar so low?
So for me, the thing about
let's
Jabbar,
put him on the grill.
Here's the thing about Jabbar, man. I just look at it. I look at, okay, I know he was great early. 72, ended up getting Oscar, won a championship.
He was great late too.
71, but yeah.
Here's the thing when I say great late though, right? I think we look at Kareem differently, and Magic doesn't come there and does what he does. Same way I think about Kobe. Like I love Kobe, but I think Kobe has a hard time if there's no Shaq. Shaq stays in Orlando, and they drafted Kobe by himself, and he got to figure it out for the first 5 to 6 years. Like it's gonna be tough on Kobe.
We don't.
When I say that, I'm a hater. When I say that Charlotte would have wrecked him, I'm a hater.
The inverse applies too. Magic we'd look at Magic differently if he didn't join the best player in the world as a rookie.
But I think Magic.
If he ended up in Detroit somewhere.
When Magic goes to the Lakers, they build the system around him. The same way they had the system for Kareem. We're gonna dunk it down low. We're gonna let you get 30 a game.
It took a couple years, but cool.
I think Magic takes that anywhere he goes and speeds the game up. Anywhere
Kareem was already the best player in the league before Magic.
The system didn't start being built around Magic. It really got built around Magic when Magic said he was going to ask for a trade if the coach didn't get fired.
Okay, and
because they weren't trying to build this system.
That was the next year, Mars.
But that's only because.
So his first year when he comes in. And it's a certain someone who's the best player in the world. The system isn't built for him.
But that's they
then Magic Johnson throws a hissy fit to get the system built around him, and then he gets it. That doesn't. So everywhere he goes, he throws a hissy fit to get the system for him.
But y'all do know that Kareem was already the best player in the world before Magic got there early. So
yes.
what does that got to do with Magic? Like Kareem was already the greatest.
He wasn't. But his way of playing wasn't winning. Is what I'm saying. It wasn't winning. You can we look at
was he or was he not the best player in the world?
Nobody think Joel Embiid is.
But was he not the best player in the world? He was already the best player in the world for years before Magic got there.
Early,
he was in the finals like 3 years prior.
We got to continue this argument.
He already won
on another occasion. But I do want to say, you're not being consistent because when Duncan came in the league, who was there? When Duncan during the last couple championships,
can I hear Damo? Can I hear Damo?
Who was there? Duncan had Kawhi during his last championship. Still had Manu Ginobili. Still had Tony Parker. So the same argument that you're making, not for
too
Kareem,
much on Tim Duncan though.
It's not the same
too much, but I'm saying, he has Tim Duncan at 3, and for the same thing that applies to his greatness, he's discrediting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So I got to just point out the inconsistencies. You're saying Kareem had help, Tim Duncan had help through and through with the great coach.
What I'm saying, you Ron, is Duncan's
D-Wade that
level of
helped, too.
playing wins
All
anywhere.
of
I'm
them
trying to say it wins anywhere. The way he plays the game of basketball wins anywhere. What I'm saying to you is that even if Magic didn't go to the Lakers where they had to wait a year because they was fighting Kareem, I look at like Tyrese Halliburton, right? I watched Tyrese go to the Pacers and completely transform them the way he sped the ball up. Like I'm being real with you. Now he ain't got Tyrese can shoot and Magic couldn't. But I'm saying what Magic does to make your players better, man. Anywhere he goes, he'll eventually win because of his style of play. Playing around a guy like that, you can win like that. Period. You can win like that.
And that doesn't apply to Kareem, who won in his second season.
Again,
expansion team.
I'm big on errors though. Y'all know me. I just say I think Bill Russell was BismackBiyombo.
No.
Come on, sit in the hell, Ron.
So Bill Russell joins a newly crowned franchise and wins a
Man,
championship.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
We're gonna catch you next time, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
What up, Damo? Pass that.
You know I will. I'm all out of
Yes,
the Niner
sir.
pack, so you can hit this one.
Bet.
Damo, so I know Biyombo got a whole tree from Buget Biyombo to Fool's Gold Biyombo, whatever it might be. Does Bill Russell fall in that tree? Platinum
Biyombo?
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Russell is like
12 karat Biyombo.
If Bill Russell is of the BismackBiyombo prototype or of that cloth, I would say that he is the Michael Jordan of all Bismack-Biyombos, if that makes sense. We had this thing on the pod to where someone asked, it was a dumb question, but it made a lot of sense. It was, is Jeremy Grant the Kevin Durant of all Tobias Harris's? That was the question. And we were like, what the hell does that even mean? And I thought about it. But the type of player Tobias is Jeremy Grant the best version of that? So for me, if Bill Russell is a Biyombo, he's the greatest Biyombo there's ever been, in my opinion. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, the Biyombo prototype is crazy. I can't wait till we break it down from greatest.
I might start measuring bigs by the Biyombo status.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, defensive bigs with little offensive bags, I promise you,
Where Ben Wallace on the Biyombo tier list?
He is. If Bill Russell, I'm about to say he got to be like Kobe, Bron. He got to be one of those guys that's competing for the top spot. Okay, he's the Kobe of Biyombos.
All right, so
why is Biyombo the measuring stick though? Is what I'm trying to figure out. That's
so where's Hasheem Thabit? Where's Hasheem Thabit?
He's the
Hasheem Thabit. He's the Hasheem Thabit of all the Biyombos.
What the hell is happening right
there? All right, y'all. Defensive centers, Biyombo's the measuring stick. My bad, Ron. Go ahead.
We're gonna jump straight into our segment of the day, brought to you today by Big Ox Media. If you don't follow Big Ox Media, go follow him. The segment of the day is brought by Big Ox Media. You guys should go check out the content of Graveyard Shift, Champagne Room, No Snooze Button. They got good things going on over there. Go follow Big Ox Media on YouTube. Who knows tomorrow whose segment of the day is going to be brought by? It might be another channel on YouTube. But today it's Big Ox Media. But let's get into the segment. Right now, we haven't talked about the buyout market and some of the guys that have been bought out and have signed other places, and some dudes that are still out there lurking around. So I'm going to bring out some guys, and I need you guys to tell me how good of a fit this is, or if this player should have went elsewhere. So we got a few guys that have already been bought out, but we haven't talked about Kyle Lowry signing to the Sixers. Got to ask you guys, what does this do for the Sixers? And should Kyle Lowry have went there, or should he have went elsewhere? Chilltown, I'm going to start with you.
I thought he fit better with Phoenix for that little bit of money. And that little bit of time, I think that he would have been perfect for what Phoenix was doing. He gives them a floor leader that they didn't have, a primary ball handler and distributor. Now Book and Bradley Beal can both play their natural positions, which is on the wing, and being isolation players. Same thing with Kevin Durant. So I think that him going to Philly, I think he brings them veteran leadership, but without Joel Embiid, I don't think that he gives them what they necessarily need more than what he would have in Phoenix.
How does everybody else feel about that?
He replaces Pat Bev.
Yeah.
That he does what Pat Bev did. That he's a leader in the locker room and on the court, defensive communicator. Will put his body on the line for sure. But he's not gonna he's obviously not gonna be like a initiator. I don't think he's gonna be an initiator for them. I still think that's gonna be Tyrese Maxey. I think he's gonna be a spot up shooter who takes on some defensive leadership qualities. And the moves they're making, I think they're trying to bring Embiid back in the playoffs. I think they're trying to make the playoffs, and I think
it's a bad idea, Mars. It's a terrible idea. It's just
that's
bad.
what I think they're trying to do.
It's the only option, Chilton. I'm trying to tell you, that's the only option they got.
I'm just on your page.
Them bringing in Buddy Hildes and them bringing in Kyle Lowry, who's going to be there for this season and this season only. I think they're trying to make a run. And maybe Embiid's surgery isn't that severe, so maybe I don't know, but
it's no doubt in my heart and no logic in my mind that lets me know that Joel Embiid's not coming back this year. I'm almost 100% sure that Embiid wants to play and they want to play, and I think everybody moving forward is preparing for him to be back sooner than later.
Yeah, I think he's coming back.
It makes.
I just hope it's because the surgery wasn't severe. If it's an actual meniscus repair and they're still trying to bring him back, then this is negligence, in my opinion.
Yeah, if they're reconstructing the meniscus, then he can't come back. If it's just a cleanup, then yeah, just a little snip. Oh, he can be back for sure. He can be back before playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Obviously not play any minutes, but he can be back for the playoffs if it's just something minor like that. But I like the move for Kyle Lowry. You know, he gets to come home. He gets to spot up and shoot. He gets to teach. You know, he gets to make his minutes as impactful as possible. And Kyle Lowry is the type of person to do that. I understand now why they were okay with losing Pat Bev. So it's cool. Especially if Joel comes back. Now, if Joel comes back, they got Kyle Lowry. They got the shooting from Buddy Hield. Sixers are dangerous. You know what I'm saying? That's a dangerous squad.
Got rid of Marcus Morris.
Yeah, that was definitely a W move. I definitely like the move to the Sixers. Definitely something that works for both teams. I personally don't want to see Joel Embiid back. So this would have been, I feel like this would have been a W move for them with or without Embiid coming back. If Embiid's supposed to be coming back, I guess, whatever. I don't like it, but hey, that's his body. That's not mine. But I feel this was a good move for him. Again, I don't want to just rehash what people have said, but replacing Pat Bev, I think he does that. And hey, I'm a Pat Bev hater, so I think he's better than Pat Bev. So,
but Chilton, I would have really liked Kyle Lowry with the Suns too, though.
Yeah.
And when you say that, that would have been nice. I think they should have probably tried to work that out.
I think that the money was tricky though. I think that's where the problem was.
I don't think they could afford him.
Yeah, I think that's where the money was tricky.
Any news on Bradley Beal, by the way?
He had a hamstring issue. I think it's day to day, Mars. I don't think it's
okay.
It'd be
but
all right.
It's good because the All-Star break is basically tomorrow. So if he sat out the next game, they should have him back by the time All-Star break is over.
Okay, cool.
All right, y'all. Moving along to the next contestant on the list. We've been speaking on him all show, and we just made a whole tier of him. We got BismackBiyombo going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Does this hold any weight? If you were Bismack, would you have went there?
Has he played?
He should have gone to Houston. I've been begging for a backup.
I haven't seen him yet, to be honest with you.
I don't think he's played yet.
No, he hasn't. But
okay,
I've been begging for a backup big. Oh yeah, he don't want to show up for us. Oh, Bismack. So bad move.
Me personally, I love the move. That team needed a big. I've been saying that now. I understand Bismack is just 6'8". He's listed at 6'8". Oh my god, I thought he was 6'9".
No way. No,
he played bigger. He played bigger than 6'8".
It's because his wingspan. It's because his wingspan. It's because his wingspan. But yeah, I thought it was 6'9". He's 6'8". That's crazy. But I mean, they needed a bigger presence. And I mean, listen, I understand the optics of it. It is just BismackBiyombo, but just BismackBiyombo is 70% of Rudy Gobert. So I think that's phenomenal. I think that is a W pickup.
Hey, Damo, stop, man! I hate you.
What? I'm being
honest. I hate you, Damo. I don't dislike you. I hate you.
He's not.
No.
Ron, play the clip. I sent it to you. Play the clip. Play the clip.
God.
He's not. Play the clip.
No,
send him a
not.
clip.
What
I
clip?
sent him a clip. The first one. It's only I sent you two things. One was a clip. One was just a headline. Play the clip.
Damo, I can't play this, Damo.
Why not?
Because
copyright issues or some nonsense.
You don't got it. Oh man,
copyright issues.
Just know. Whatever Rudy can do on offense, Bismack can do. I promise you, he can.
Chat. I'm posting a link in the chat. You guys go watch it and let
chat.
W.
Watch that link and tell me Bismack can't do that. Come on, man. I'm just saying. But no, in all seriousness,
why hasn't he done it then? Big Ox. But Damo, if that's the case, if Bismack is that impactful both offensively and defensively, why hasn't he been that? Why wasn't he that? I mean, I watched him in Toronto. He was good.
So for what it's worth, that shot was close. I'm just saying that was close.
Yeah, close to the damn shot clock, maybe.
Trick shot.
Anywho, what do you mean? Why has
Damo? I wanted. You know how bad Damo I wanted to get on there. Like, you know what? No, that was solid. He pump faked that, but I can't even do that. Like, go to the rack, man. Attack. Go this way.
At no time has Bismack ever been impactful on both ends of the floor like Rudy Gobert. Never in his career.
For what it's worth, he had a nice playoff run in 2016. That's what got him paid. That's what got him paid. He was playing very well.
Toronto. Yep.
I like Biz. I like Biz.
Yeah, I like Biz.
I'm not gonna do this.
I do too.
He's not Rudy. Yeah, he's not Rudy, but
I like Biz.
No, he's not Rudy. He's not Rudy. He's like,
and he's not 70% of them neither. No, he is not.
If you take away the efficiency of Rudy at the rim, what are you left with?
How about a glass cleaner? How about that? Where's that guy at? How about a rim protector? Where's that guy at?
All right. So now I gotta get nasty. Chill. This is crazy. So now I gotta go and I gotta pull up Rudy's, not Rudy's.
Get Bismack's rebounds per 36.
Not his rebounds. I'm about to go find when he had that stretch of time where he was really starting for the Grizzlies this year. Let me see. When he was really getting the minutes.
He was around for like 12 years. He had like 1 or 2 albums that were good. He wasn't even all.
That's a lot more. That's a lot more than a lot of people can say.
Trash.
That's a lot more than a lot of people can say.
I'm saying.
I'm just saying when you look at it, when you really look at it, he's a great backup big in my opinion. He does what he needs to do. He does what the job requires.
Right.
Not too much, not too little. Mm-hmm. And that is 30% less than what Rudy Gobert does in my opinion.
Which doesn't work for your logic, Damo, because you said he's a great backup big. Rudy is not a backup big. And Jordan didn't draft him. With the number 8 pick or the number 9 pick to be a backup big. No, he did not.
Jordan ruined him. You said it earlier how Kobe couldn't went to Charlotte and flourished. I think it takes a real lucky case to go to Charlotte and not have your career ruined. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, and Jordan knew he made a mistake, so he went to Toronto, and then Jordan went and paid him and brought him back. He knew he made a mistake.
Come on,
but wait, didn't it? Because how did that work? I believe we drafted him for Charlotte. Or no? Was that Biz? I'm tripping. Hold on.
It might have been.
So Jordan, I think so. So Jordan really wanted Biz. Like it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't just some guy like, I'll take him. Like now Jordan sought after Biz.
Watch Biz. I bet you Biz gonna have a job next year too. People say he was barely on to a spot in the league. I bet you have a spot in the league next year. You want to know why?
I don't know why he was Biz. Why was he out the league? I don't understand why. For what he provides as a backup big and a dirty work guy, I don't understand why he was out the league.
Memphis waived him, right? Memphis cut him.
Yeah, he wasn't on a non-guaranteed deal. It wasn't even for the whole season. I don't think. I might be wrong though. But I was begging for Biyombo on the deadline, hoping.
I would have took him in LA.
Jock Lando and Jeff Green at the 5.
Jeff Green at 5 minutes is crazy to me.
37 years old, be going running the 5 because Jock Lando.
Y'all drafted him at number 7 in 2011.
Okay, thought so. Yeah, for sure.
What school did Bismack go?
He didn't go to college.
So they drafted him out where? Just out of Congo?
He didn't go to Louisville.
He didn't go to college.
They just drafted him straight out of Congo.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't Biz that went to Louisville. I'm tripping.
Straight out of College of the Congos. Hey, I do We talking about Bismack though. I do want to hear you guys' grades or how you feel about him in OKC, and if you think it was a better location other than Houston Mars.
He addresses their need. That's a B+. He can give them minutes against teams because they're a bad rebounding team. One thing BismackBiyombo can do is reboundable. So give him minutes in certain situations where you're getting killed on the glass or against a team that's a very big lineup. Yeah, he can play. Also allows Chet to be a help defender more often if you play them together. And because Chet can shoot, is valuable. So yeah, I don't think there's anyone better who was available that the Thunder could have got. So I think they did the best they could with what they
for that need, sure.
Yeah.
For that need, yeah, that's fair.
Chet as a roamer, that's dangerous.
That's scary.
It's giving me 2020 vibes when AD was able to roam and he was able to play him in certain places and just like just go out there and just
cause roaming.
Cause havoc.
Man, that's not gonna work.
Why is it not gonna work?
You've been hating on the Thunder all year.
I'm not hating on the Thunder. I'm hating on this roamer aspect for especially at like a power forward. Like
wow, big guys. What's wrong with a roamer?
Your head blown off.
Why?
He hasn't been getting his head blown off all year. He's been a great big man defender this year. His rookie year, by the way, he's been doing just fine.
And on top of that, and roamers, I don't know if you know this, Big Ox, but roamers are called back in the days team defenders. That's what they are. That's what Bird was. Bird wasn't a great one-on-one defender, but he was a great roamer, great team defender. Help off the basketball, digging down in the paint when the big man had the ball. So I could be a damn good roamer, quote unquote, / team defender. So what's wrong with that?
Not anymore. You can't do that anymore. This isn't Larry Bird's era.
I mean, I'd argue it's more effective now, but I mean, like Giannis, Chet, Wemby.
How much better with Anthony Davis? How much better is Anthony Davis when he's roaming?
Yeah,
roaming off of who? If you got Biz on the floor, who's Biz guarding?
The big.
Whoever's at the rim. Whoever allows him to get the rim.
And so who is Chet? Who is Chet guarding?
Don't
tell me I don't know Thunderball.
He'd guard the weakest offensive player.
Not happened yet.
He would guard the weakest offensive player. So if he's playing
Minnesota, he'd probably have to deal with who? He'd probably have to deal with Jaden McDaniels.
And when Kyle Anderson's on the floor, he'd guard Kyle Anderson. Like that's what he would do.
That's what he'd have to do.
So the weakest shooting. What I'm saying is, so if this is the defense y'all playing, y'all got Biz on the floor, right? How does this work with? So you said the Timberwolves, right?
He probably got Rudy.
Let's say the Timberwolves. So is Biz guarding Cat?
No, he's gonna probably have to.
I don't know what you do. Yeah, he.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He got J-Mac.
In these
instances, he probably got J-Mac.
Yeah.
So who's guarding Rudy? I mean, not Rudy. I'm sorry.
Cat.
That situation.
So wait. Regardless. Let me just get to my point without being too specific about names. What I'm saying is, especially in the playoffs, we're going off of coaching adjustments, right? So now I'm not saying it's a big deal if Biz don't get all these minutes, right? But if we're gonna play this style, when we make the coaching adjustments, aren't we gonna make it to where Chet, I got to make Chet guard a shooter? Aren't we just shooting them out of this with all these shooters in the NBA today?
That would be the plan, but in order to do that, you've got to get for the Timberwolves, it probably wouldn't be as effective. So Bismack probably wouldn't play as much
isn't that who Biz is here for? Isn't this Biz is here to match up against the bigger?
I mean, for spot, he's there for spot minutes.
He's there for like the Nuggets.
Okay, so what are we doing against the Clippers then? What are we doing against the Clippers? Because Biz is guarding Zubac, who is.
Oh, but you know the Clippers gonna go small, so Chet can play at the 5. The Clippers gonna go small. We know.
So who's Chet guarding against? Who is Chet roaming off of against the Suns when Biz is guarding? When he's supposed to be matched up with KD? Who's he guarding?
Respectfully, and I know he's a sniper.
But okay, so who was Biz?
He's guarding Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal's not a sniper, but he's guarding Royce O'Neal. They're gonna live with Royce O'Neal. They're gonna live with Royce O'Neal. That's who they're gonna let shoot. Not let shoot, but they're comfortable with Chet roaming.
And that's what I'm saying, Mars. But in this instance, aren't we taking Royce O'Neal off the floor to make it to okay? Right? I'm sorry.
You tried to put Grayson Allen on the floor.
Yeah, we'll go with Grayson. Whoever. We all I'm saying is in these instances now, it's not a big deal. Like this isn't gonna blow the series open because obviously at that point it's just like, okay, we'll go sit down, Biz. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a huge deal. I'm not trying to
he's not, but it forces teams to have to make an adjustment and get some people who they want on the floor off the floor because Chet can roam off of certain people. Now, even if the Suns can just counter that by taking Royce O'Neal off the floor, you've now taken one of the Suns' better perimeter defenders off the floor because Bismack Biyombo is playing the 5. Josh Okogie will not play in that series because if Josh Okogie's in the game, Bismack Biyombo is going to be in the game and Chet going to be roaming off Josh Okogie. Josh Okogie now can't play in that series because Bismack Biyombo has forced their hand in saying.
So you're saying it's more of a positive to have Biz on the floor than it is to have Josh Okogie. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is like the idea. I'm more so talking about the idea of your one of your bigs being a roamer is just an idea that I don't really see being as effective when it's a guy like Bismack Biyombo that's allowing you to roam.
I mean, he's protecting them. His job is to protect the rim and rebound. And by him being on the floor, in order for you to counter that and maximize trying to take advantage of Bismack being on the floor, you're going to sacrifice defense on your end to do that. And that is what the Thunder will rely on. Again, going back to the Timberwolves, if it will most likely, and I'm thinking of their main starting 5, if you run a line, I don't think Biz is going to start, but when Biz comes in and plays spot minutes, I would assume to counter that, they would have to take J-Mac off the floor to put a shooter in. You take J-Mac off the floor, that's your best perimeter defender. So now you got to worry about interior defense, but who are you going to have guard Shea? You can say, oh, Ant got him. Ant don't got him. Ant, he's trying to make it hard. Ant don't got him. Ant's going to be exerting all his energy on the defensive end, trying to stop Shea and potentially getting foul trouble because you know Shea is an unethical bucket. So, I mean,
I get what you're saying. That all.
Take off Royce O'Neal, you bring on a shooter. You're going to bring on a shooter to take advantage of Bismack being out there, but you're going to take away your perimeter defense, and now you have to worry about this offensive onslaught that they can put on you because the Thunder are not a weak offensive team. They might not have the most firepower. We talked about it yesterday. There might be teams with more firepower, but to act like the Thunder don't got offense to throw at you while keeping this defensive minded unit in there to allow Chet to roam, crazy.
Well, I understand what you're saying. In theory, it all makes sense. Like I definitely get what you're saying. I'm just talking about the idea of like you can run this lineup. Don't get me wrong, you can run the lineup, but the idea of having Chet be a roamer in these certain lineups is all I'm specifically talking about. So I get it though. It makes sense for sure.
All right, fellas, let's move on to the next player on the list. We said Bismack Biyombo. We said Kyle Lowry. The next person that we have, speaking of the Suns, is Thaddeus Young. Has been signed by the Phoenix Suns. I know some people up here are happy about that. I know some people up here are like, whatever. But I got to ask you first. How do you feel about Thad going to Phoenix?
I mean, I'm excited because it's Thaddeus Young. I'm not sure how much more Thad got in the tank. So I'm happy for it just because it's Thad. It's a chance to get him on the team where maybe he can get a ring, So hopefully he can put some good minutes together. But like I said, I'm more so excited just on name,
I don't think he's over, to be quite honest with you. I think that he can still give you some good minutes. And I don't mean 25, 30 minutes, but I still think he can give you some good minutes. I think about when P.J. Brown got on the Celtics in 2008. That's who I'm thinking about right now to get it. I don't think that you can have enough dudes on your crew like that in the league where you got a guy who can give you some minutes in spots where it gets tricky. And Thaddeus Young is that kind of guy who, for some reason, he's always healthy. I don't know what it is. He always seems to be available, and he can knock down an open shot. He can rebound when necessary. He's that consummate fill-in guy, especially at this level. So
Can he still defend?
I think he can in stretches because I don't think that you're going to need him for 35 minutes, for 30 minutes. You're not going to need him for that long. He's more of a situational player today than anything. And I think that if you could get in a series where you can use him for 10, 15 minutes, like what Isaacs is in Orlando, I think he's going to be great for Phoenix.
That used to be one of my favorite players, Chitchat.
He's like 36. I used to like because Toronto is probably lower on my list of teams I watch. And every time I watch Toronto, I just see Thaddeus Young come on the court. I'm like,
for some reason,
you're still in the league. Like, not like I thought you were bad. It's like you're still here. And then he plays. I'm like, okay, I can see why you're still here. You're actually pretty good. But like, I think it's nice that he's finally getting onto a team that's contending because he was in San Antonio before Toronto. Then I think he was in Chicago. So like he hasn't been on like a contending team, I want to say ever. So like this is probably his one and only chance to really get
I think the best team he was on, Mars, was in Indiana.
kinda?
I think that was the best team he was on.
He was on the Pacers with Oladipo and them, right?
Yeah, in 18 when they lost in 7 to Cleveland. I think that's the best team that he was on.
Yeah, so like I think it's nice he's gonna finally get a chance to compete for a championship, and he does a few things well. He's a solid passer. He can rebound at the 4 position, and he's another one who has a weird little floater that is quite nice. So I think he can play situationally. I don't think he's gonna be like a 25-minute per game guy, but certain matchups or teams that don't dare him to shoot threes, or if they use him right, he can play. Now, if they just put him in the corner, he can't play because he's not a shooter. So it's about how they use him, but he can be impactful in the right situation.
I like him as a good Swiss Army knife over there. What's up, Damo? Talk to us.
Oh yeah, I like the Thaddeus Young move. I like Thaddeus Young. I think people forget about that. That early 2010s Philly team he was on that was led by Drew Holiday. That was another team he was on. He was relatively younger. I like that team. That's when I really started liking him. But I like this move for him. I do think he still has something left in the tank. I think this will be like a Jeff Green on the Nuggets type of ordeal. Like Jeff Green wasn't over. He definitely was over the hill. He wasn't who he used to be, but still will pop up, make a good play. I don't think that's about to be booming on people how Jeff Green was, but still provide something. He's an older guy, veteran presence that can still provide something to this team and knows how to get in and fit in and be a glue guy. So I like it. That definitely W pickup for them.
All right, we'll definitely see what that brings to the table. I'm really actually excited about this Phoenix team, getting Thad Young, getting Royce O'Neal. I think those are two veteran presences that they needed. They looked good last night, so we'll see exactly how they look moving forward. Last but not least on the list of guys that have signed, Damo, your Lakers got Spencer Dinwiddie. How you feel about Dinwiddie?
Hey man, listen, when we first signed him, I seen a lot of people complaining, what does that do for us? Shut up. Listen, from what I've seen in this one game sample size against, of all teams, the Detroit Pistons, the things he provides are the things we need. I'm not gonna hold you. Another bucket, a guy that can go out and get a bucket. I know statistically people will look and say, oh, well, he's inefficient. Look, from what I've seen, at any point in time, we can have 2 guards on the court at the same time who can create a bucket and can relatively pass. He had some good passes, made a couple good dimes, had some good looks. I like it. Wasn't doing too much. Now that, that falls off, we might have a different conversation. But if he can keep that up relatively, I'm not too mad at the Dinwiddie signing, especially for that much money. It's not like we're paying him 10, 15 mil, 8, 9 mil. He is getting 1.5. I will take that over J Hood minutes in a heartbeat. I will take that over Gabe Vincent minutes in a heartbeat. And that 3-guard lineup is still scary. I will say Darvin pulled the 3-guard lineup out. I looked on the other end. It was 3 guards on the other court. So I'm like, okay, it makes sense. I'm not going to complain. He didn't look bad. I liked him.
Damo sounded like the dude that had to go out with a chick, and he went out with a chick and turned out, you know what, this date wasn't that bad. I actually had a good time. This is kind of dope.
She cracked a couple jokes. She lightened the mood. It was
initially when I met her, I was like, "What am I doing this?" At the end of the day, I was like, "You know what? It wasn't that bad. I actually had a good time. Matter of fact, I might be interested in going out with you again. I might be interested in going out with you."
She reached the bill without saying nothing. I was like, "Oh, great! It was a nice gesture."
I might want to go out with you again. I know where Damo was with the Lakers, that they had to do something. Right? I do understand his logic in that, because I mean, sure, they brought back the same unit. They was in the Western Conference Championship, but it just seemed like this unit was a little stagnant. I didn't think that it did much, but it does give them something else. And I could get with that logic. It does give them something else. Dinwiddie can knock down an open shot. He can defend. He can do that, and he's not as dizzy as some of these other guys are. He actually won't make a lot of mistakes. He's a vet that you have that you can rely on not to screw up as much. You're not going to watch the Lakers with Dinwiddie on the floor and go, "What are you doing?" more than you do that with other guys. You're not going to do that with him. So he's going to provide you with something that you didn't have. So I don't hate it. I don't.
and a guy that can create a shot. That's the biggest thing I want to get across to people. It is a guy who can create a shot, which is something a lot of people want to acknowledge that the Lakers actually needed outside of LeBron, Reeves, and D'Lo.
No love to AD.
I mean, that was obvious. It's the best player on the Lakers. I can't.
Got you. All right, my bad. That's like when I say somebody's the best shooter and I don't include Steph. It's like that's obvious.
Yeah, like I'm not going to include the best big in the league when I'm talking about this stuff. Like, come on.
All right, no doubt. I do want to say though, I don't like you guys saying Dinwiddie is trash. Dinwiddie is far from trash. But let's just put this out there right now. Nothing about Spencer Dinwiddie is garbage, and I do believe he contributes nicely for this Lakers team.
I don't think he's garbage neither, Ron. To be honest with you, I never said that he was garbage. And it ain't necessary for a team. I don't think the Lakers had to make a splash. To be honest with you, I didn't think that they had to do something where they had to completely. We got to flip D'Angelo Russell for Zach LaVine. Well, I don't know if that's necessary. I don't think that we had to do that, but I do think that this helps them. I think that gives them another able body.
Definitely, fellas. All right, well, let's go ahead and dive into these super chats. Shout out to everybody that's liked the video. If you haven't liked the video, like the video, and I'll give you a shout out after that. Right from the top, actually, we got some new members. Let's go ahead and shout out the members. Eli the Misfit, welcome back to the squad. SR Biggs, welcome back. Mekki or Makai, welcome back to the squad. You know, we got some old guys that I don't know what other channel you guys went to. I don't know why you didn't become a member, but love to have you guys back. Appreciate you for coming back through. Andra 15789 said Jaylen Brown over Jason Tatum.
Hey, maybe he do know who. Maybe they do got some hoop over there in the Czech Republic. I was tripping. You know what? My bad, Andra.
The Green Maurice Sports said, what's worse, player comparisons or player projections?
I think it's player projections.
Yeah.
Player comparison. Like I can compare you to this guy, but that don't necessarily mean you're going to turn into that. When I project that you're going to be somebody and you don't turn into that, I think that's even worse. Because I'm
to be better than what I think
100% wrong. I think Wemby's going to be, I think this dude's going to be this, and he turns out to be, Mother Goose, like garbage. No, I don't want to do that.
I think the issue of projections is not always, but a lot of people will just project that someone's weaknesses they'll just improve in all of them, and they'll end up being perfect, which never makes sense to me. Like when someone comes in and they can't shoot, and then we just project they're going to be able to shoot. Or when someone comes in and they can't play defense, and then we just project they're going to be able to play defense. Like that's why I have a hard time with projections, because like why do we just assume everyone's just going to get better at the things they're not good at with little to no evidence? And I'm guilty of that for sure. But like that's why I prefer comparisons, because comparisons is based on what you see. What similarities do you see? Projections, It can just go as far as you want to just say this person going to be able to do this and this and this, and then they're going to be the best ever. Like there's no limit to where your projection stops.
Of course, we think that a guy is going to get better. Me in particular, I think that a guy is going to get better because I have to believe that who you are, that I'm seeing you right now. So when you first show up to the league, okay, you weren't this 4 years ago. So I got to believe that 4 years from now, you're not going to be what I'm looking at right now. You are going to be something better than this. Now, you might not be exponentially better, but sure, you're going to get better than what I see right now. Absolutely. As opposed to when I'm comparing you to somebody. Well, I don't think that you are, like, for example, Anthony Edwards. I compare him to, I think he's a more athletic version of Mitch Richmond. Do I think he's going to be better than Mitch Richmond? Do I think he's going to be more awesome than Mitch Richmond? I don't know. But that's what I see when I see him. I see a lot of similarities between those two guys.
Yeah, I mean, it always depends on who's doing it, because there's people who can project and they can be realistic, and then there's people like me who say Jalen Green is Michael Jordan. So like, it depends on who you're talking to and how realistic they're being. Like realistic projections and comparisons, I think, are fine, but when it gets out of hand, I think projections get way more out of hand than comparisons. That's why I guess I say projections are worse to me.
My only thing with player comparisons, and it was actually you, Damo, and you as well, Mars, that kind of like started pointing this out. Every single time it is a white guy, they always have to get compared to another white guy. And I found myself doing this. Like I literally did it last night. Was it with Bruzelis? No, it was with one of them college players. And I'm looking at him and they're like, who's his comp? And I'm literally looking at him and I'm trying to comp him to a black player. I'm like, find a black player.
Couldn't do it.
And you said Gordon Hayward. You was like, God damn it, it's Gordon. It's Gordon. That's what it is. I'm fighting it. It's Gordon. Like, nah.
That's why Luka gets the Larry Bird comparisons, even though like they're not even close to similar. But hey, it's another reason why Buzelis in the G League gets the Franz Wagner comparisons, even though they don't play alike. But hey, when you're a white guy, hey, you gotta be compared to a white guy somehow. It's just the rules.
Hey, I'm trying to. That's crazy.
But you know what it is though. Go ahead, Chill. Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out like Chris Mullin. I'm trying to see who is Chris Mullin in today's game. I don't see no black dudes that I'm looking at. I don't see no black dudes in the league that I'm going. That's Chris Mullin right there. Nobody, none.
What white guys in the league are left-handed today?
The left-handed long ball shooter in Memphis.
Luke Kennard. Yeah, man, that's Chris Mullin right there. Bro. That's Chris Mullin. There we go. Found him.
Left-handed long ball shooter. Right. So who else is left-handed? Mike Conley's left-handed, but he ain't white. And he ain't. Nope. He does not.
You know, James Harden. I'm gonna be honest. Grady Dick is right-handed Chris Mullin for real. Grady Dick is right-handed Chris Mullin.
I guess
that's another thing too with left-hand players. Left-hand players always have to be compared to left-hand players.
Yes. But the problem is the James Harden Manu Ginobili comparison is pretty similar. I will say.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, but generally
the only one. Well, I don't know if it's general, Mars, because when you think about left-handed players, most left-handed players are very left-handed. Mm-hmm. Most left-handed players, they go left way harder than they are with their weak hand. Prime example, Zion Williamson. The only time the ball touches Zion right hand is to go back to the left hand. It doesn't really touch his right hand very much. So when you think about left-handed players, they're very left-handed. So when you're comparing them to other left-handed players, or when you're comparing them to other players, more than likely you're going to compare them to left-handed players, to other left-handed players.
Zion got compared to Larry Johnson. So
he did get from a body type. I think I don't think it was his game. I think it was his body type more than anything, and Barkley too.
Yeah, but yeah, the white players get compared to white players all the time.
Because when they don't. Because when they don't, it gets real tricky and it gets odd for the things that they say. Like recently, Nicola Topic, someone put out one of those draft analysts, people put out a draft comp for him. And in the comp, I wish I could pull it up so I don't butcher it, but it was wild. It was like a way more fundamentally sound. Who was it? It wasn't Halliburton. It was some LaMelo Ball. That's what it was. It was.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Far more fundamentally sound LaMelo Ball. I'm like, no. Like, I guess if you don't compare him to a white guy, when you compare him to a black guy, you have to stress on the fact that the fundamentals are, hey, he's this guy, but instead of athleticism, severe fundamentals. Like that's really what it is. And it gets crazy. And every time I see that, that's literally what it is. If there is a white guy being compared to a black guy, they have to harp on the fact, oh yeah, he is a more fundamentally sound whoever. And it's crazy.
And anytime there's a white guy who can jump, sneaky athletic. Every time. Like, there could be no sneak about it. He could be booming on everyone. Sneaky athletic.
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. I'm gonna take an over under because I'm doing playback on the draft on the dunk contest. I am doing an over under live during the dunk contest on how many times people are going to call Jaime Jaquez a sneaky athlete after this dunk contest. He's going to do one dunk, and they're going to really say, "I didn't know he had that." It's a sneaky.
And he ain't white. He's Spanish.
He is, and he's just going to get dubbed the same thing. He's going to get thrown in with him. It's crazy.
All right, y'all. Sora Zarin said it was interesting to hear the talks about Giannis' bag 2 episodes ago. Got me thinking, which player has the deepest bag in each position and overall?
Kyrie has the deepest bag for point guards.
Mm-hmm. Andre Blatch has the deepest bag for centers.
For sure.
Easily.
I got.
What about DeMarcus?
Nah,
Boogie did have
a bag, but not like Blatch. Not like Blatch.
Deeper than Bam?
Yes.
Deeper than Bam?
Yes.
Bam.
Yes, Bam, Mars.
We saying Bam before we say Joel Embiid and Hakeem? Like,
or that's
Joel
another guy
Embiid is like, for me, Joel Embiid has the deepest back.
Yeah,
I was just thinking about today. I didn't know we were talking about all time. I'm sorry. I was just thinking.
I wasn't sure if we were talking about all time or today, but I was going to give Andre Blatch credit.
That's why I said.
Yeah, Andre Blatch got. I mean, Chill realized Andre Blatch got a deeper back than Giannis. We came to that conclusion. That's good. But Kyrie at the one.
What I said was he was what I said.
No, you agreed.
Kobe at the 2.
Did not.
Kobe at the 2. Paul George at the 3. At the 4.
At the 4.
Is it cheating to say KD? Is it cheating? Is it cheating to say KD or Jason Tatum?
It is cheating to say KD.
I do feel like it's cheating to say KD.
Yes.
What fools had
a 4?
I'm saying KG.
Oh, KG had a. Dirk had a bag.
Yes,
Chris Webber.
Okay, now you got
Lamar Odom. Someone said Lamar Odom too. I ain't gonna lie. Lamar
did have a bag. Lamar did have a bag.
Lamar had a bag, but I can't put Lamar on the same level as all those other guys we mentioned. Though he had a bag, but
just bag wise, Ron, I think you can.
Why not, Ron?
Bag wise for me, I gotta go KG or Dirk. For me, I have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Why not, Miles? I'm not Miles. I'm sorry, Ron. Why not?
He just wasn't quite as nice as them guys.
As a ball handler, I think he was better than both.
I'm about to say,
but
you know what we're talking about?
He was definitely nicer with the pill than Chris Webber.
Pull up threes in transition. He had everything. He'll break you down in transition.
No, he wasn't. He didn't shoot the ball like Dirk.
He passed better than Dirk. He passed better
better than all of them.
He was nicer with the pill than Chris Webber.
KG could pass.
I think he was nicer with the pill than KG too.
No, I agree with that.
I remember the best time KG threw that behind his defender's back to Michael Olakemi on that baseline.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yo, KG.
That Michael Olakemi on the BismackBiyombo Taylor.
Yo, Chad, I'm not saying Lamar didn't have a bag. It just, for me, I got a Lamar bias because he just left something on the table.
He always did.
I feel like it was a little more. Yo,
that I could get with.
I just feel like it was a little. I honestly thought he should have been better than what he was. That's my. For the bag that he had, I'm like Lamar. You could have been a whole lot better.
I think I gotta go KG. Personally, I think I gotta go KG. Yeah. But Lamar's close. Lamar's up there for sure. And then at the 5,
I gotta go with Chris Webber.
KG's back was different. Like young KG before,
he had that reverse pivot head and shoulder fake. That reverse pivot head and shoulder fake that was impossible. Like right around the mid post, man.
He got that from this league today would be crazy.
Yeah,
he was just allowed to just basically beat Joel Embiid. You can literally grab the ball off the glass, bring it up the floor, and do whatever you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go KG. But when you guys started bringing up the names, the power forward got some.
Who do we say for center?
I said Joel.
I'm going Wilt.
You're not moved by the little finger. I am moved.
That turnaround bank shot.
The little turnaround. The little turnaround was cool. That finger
with one hand, by the way.
That finger roll takes down 10 points.
We're not talking about the passes. We're not talking about the. He was doing magic before magic. Like he was like that. He was a globetrotter. You can't tell me a globetrotter don't got a bag. I'm sorry,
but if your bag consists of you shooting 50% from the free throw line, I'm not moved.
Oh, here we go, Mars. See, no, nope, we're not doing that, Mars. Hell no.
I'm going with Boogie for sure.
Yeah, I'm with Ox on this one.
I'm going with Joker.
Boogie got a deeper bag than Joel.
Yeah,
Boogie doesn't have a deeper bag than Joker. I don't think so.
Boogie bag was way deeper than both of them.
Boogie bag was not deeper than Joker.
I'll give it. Boogie had a nicer.
You ever seen Harry Potter?
I don't think Boogie had a better handle than Embiid, Mars.
You ever seen Harry Potter?
Boogie was like low-key,
I did not.
dancing on that perimeter. Embiid
They got one where she just pulling stuff out.
Embiid more of a face-up, hezzy pool, but he not really
in the box.
What is this type of sorcery?
Handle tight in the box. The step back. What he can do in that short amount of space. Boogie, I've seen Boogie try it and he couldn't do it. I will say
Embiid handle compares more to like. I'm not saying his handles is good, but he's more like a Carmelo type, where you put him in a small area of space, he can create space for a shot. Boogie out there on the perimeter, like he getting downhill behind the backs, between the leg, double cross, like he do it. That's what I'm saying. I think Boogie probably got a better handle in that regard, but Embiid in terms of everything, in terms of the bag, he be playing like a wing out there. Like that's Embiid crazy.
Dama, what's moving me for not Embiid, for Boogie in this situation was his coast to coast handles. Boogie get it off that glass and go coast to coast and do something mean with it. Not saying Joel don't. Boogie's was just a little different.
Ron, I feel you, but one, seeing how you didn't want to give it to Lamar because of his handles lets me think that is disingenuous. And two, because hold on,
Boogie didn't leave something on the table though. Boogie maximized his handles to the fullest.
With Kobe at the 2, that let me know we're accounting for everything in the bag, not just handles. So I will agree, Boogie might have better handles than Joel, but Joel's bag is genuinely deeper than Boogie's.
I disagree, but that's fine. I'll mess with it. But what about Louis Scola's bag?
I mean, if we want to get into underrated bags, we can. If we want to get into underrated bags,
Scola had a bag, yo. Yes, he did. Scola was nice with the pill.
I'm here for that.
Scola was nice with the pill. Scola had a money pull-up game too, by the way. Scola had a money pull-up game. Now that I'm thinking about it, yes. And I know that's your man, because initially I was thinking that Ox might be a little bit biased here when we come to Scola, but when I'm thinking about it, yo, Scola had a deep bag. Yes, he did. He had a money pull-up game. At 6'10", he was nice with the pill on the box.
That spin move, that quick spin off the block was me.
Yes, he was nice with the pill on the box.
If we're going underrated, my God, Zebo. F it. We're going with biases. Randolph had a bag too for power forwards.
Did Zebo have a bag, yo?
Maybe not the handle. Maybe not the handle.
The handle was sneaky. On the outside,
the handle was sneaky.
15 feet and in.
I think he's more of a bully, Morris.
You might want to go. You might want to go watch that.
You able to bump someone and then you got a second move and a third move to that.
He had counters. I won't argue that. I won't argue that he did have counters. But Zebo, there's a reason why his name was Zebo, because he was definitely more physical than he was all of that. He was not all of that.
Keep in mind, he was only 6'8", 6'9". So he wasn't able to.
No, I've seen Zebo before. He's a bit of 6'10". Every bit.
He was 6'10"?
Yeah, he was a bit of 6'10", 100%.
Brandon Roy had a bag.
No, I'm so glad you brought him up. No, he did. Let's get to the Hold on. Let's get to the
Chill, I'm sorry.
Yo, Ron, I gotta hear this.
I usually don't do this. I usually don't do this. We're not finna. And we're not about to do this with my role model today. We're not finna do this with my role model today. We're not.
Please don't. Come on, chill. Come on. I was in the building.
Hey, Ron is type to burn the books.
Yeah, I have to hear this.
So Ron,
what?
I was in the building that night. He put 50 on Phoenix. I was in the building that night, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching this dude. I'm on the phone with one of my best friends the next day, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know what to do with Brandon Roy. He doesn't blow me away with his athleticism. He's not super nice with the pill, but he gets to the mid-range. He wasn't jumping over the top of guys, but the stuff that he does, he was ridiculously effective at it. Like, he didn't throw the ball between his legs 6-7 times. No, he didn't do that. But he would throw the ball between his legs twice and get to his spot. He wasn't throwing the ball behind his back like Kyrie Irving or anybody like that. I wasn't blown away by his bag, but he was super duper effective. And I was trying to make sense of why is this guy so effective? What is it about him?
He didn't jump off the screen.
And it wasn't that he was whack, Big Ops, because he wasn't. I'm sitting in row 3, by the way, watching this dude go for 50. I'm sitting in row 3 watching this dude go for 50, and I'm like, he's not super athletic. Okay, his handle is not basic. He does not have a basic handle. No, his handle is not basic. His handle is better than that. But he doesn't do a lot to get to where he's trying to go. He doesn't do that. He's not jumping over the top of guys, getting to the rim, finishing around the rim like that. So what is it about this guy that's so awesome? But I became a fan of him. I absolutely became a fan of Brandon Roy, 100%. I just didn't see what y'all saw.
So you view him how you view Kawhi. In terms of they don't do too much extra stuff, but
you know what? That's a great comparison, Mars, because that's how I feel about Kawhi. When I think about Kawhi, it's not a lot of extracurricular nonsense with him. He gets to where he needs to go. He'll throw the ball between his legs a couple of times, or he'll throw it behind his back from time to time, but it's not a lot of extracurricular stuff with him. Yes, that's exactly what it is, Mars.
Okay. I think I know what it was too. Going back to that night, I know exactly why you didn't see what everybody else saw. Because that was an unethical 50. That's why. I just looked. It was 21 free throw attempts on that 50. He really scored 30 that night. He's 19 free throws on a 52-point game. That was really 30. That's why you didn't see it. He was like, I've seen guys drop 30. This doesn't feel like 50. Why doesn't it? I don't see it because it was unethical.
So we got to start free throw taxing.
Eyes, man.
Subtract your point total by the free throw amount. So if you have 30, but it's 7 free throws, you really had 23.
As soon as he said when he dropped 50 on Phoenix, I went straight to Basketball Reference. I wonder what happened that night for him not to see it because I already had a feeling. I knew what it was. I found the date. Don't worry about it. I seen it. 52 points. 19 of them came from the free throw line. Unethical. You have ethical eyes, Chill. You know ball. That's what it is. That's why you didn't see it. You was in the third row. You seen very clearly unethical.
Right there. I'm watching this dude. I'm like,
everybody else is just amazed that he got. Oh my God! Look at the numbers going up. But how are they going up? They wasn't.
But Damo, this the problem with the ethical, non-ethical narrative. Just because we have to watch, because ethical and non-ethical isn't just based on how many free throws you shoot. It's about how did you get to the free throw line. Yes, Damo, if you're attacking the rim aggressively, you're trying to score through contact, and you're getting fouled, then there's nothing wrong with that. If you're foul baiting, flopping, throwing your head around to get to the rim, that's unethical. There's nothing unethical about playing bully ball and attacking the basket at all.
Ox, can I ask you a question? Would you tell the person that came up with the Webster dictionary the definition of one of the words he created in terms he created? Would you tell him that? Like if you went to the Webster dictionary, the guy that created it, would you be like, well, in all actuality, when you're talking about the word factual, it actually means I came up with it. This is my creation.
So you're saying it's unethical to score from the free throw line, no matter how you got to the free throw line.
No, it's unethical to get there. The way he's getting to
it's unethical for that many of your points to be from the free throw line and be considered.
That's what it is.
You shouldn't get 38 and you have to strike. You shot 20 free throws.
That's insane, Damo. If you're getting
abuse fouls, don't get me wrong. I want players to go to the free throw line. I want you if we're down 5 or down 10, hey, draw some fouls, stop the clock, get some points, put people in foul trouble. I understand the semantics of trying to draw fouls and the importance of getting to the free throw line. I get that. I understand it. All I'm saying is, in totality of things, when you take a step back and look at what we're watching, if you're talking about a guy that dropped 60 points, all 60s aren't weighed the same. It's not necessarily the free throws themselves that's unethical. It's the narrative going around about what you drop with that 60. You dropped 60 and 25 of it came from the free throw line. Unethical. Because we can see other guys drop 52 with no free throws, and that's a real 52. That's what
so you're saying even if you're not foul baiting, if you're just playing physical, going to the basket, and you're getting fouled, and you're not flopping and throwing your head back, then that's still unethical.
Ox, all I'm saying is this.
I just want to get the understanding here because I was
feel
confused.
You. I'm just hear me out. I have yet to watch a basketball game where somebody goes to the line 16. 17, get 16 attempts, 18 attempts, 20 attempts, a guy making 19, 20, 21 free throws, where all those free throws was justified by just, he got fouled. No, in those situations, there was a ticky-tack foul, there was that's a bang-bang play, there was some flopping, there was some bad refereeing going on. There's always something like that in unethical games. When you show me a game of somebody who had a heck ton of free throws and they were all justified, we can readjust the logic behind unethical games. But it's
Kobe's 81, I think, unethical. He took 20 free throws that night.
60 was ethical.
I'm about to say, I ain't gonna hold you. The 81 might not have been ethical, but if you're telling me you take away 20 from that, you still at 60?
61.
That was some
Or
great night.
61 with no free throws.
Right.
It's insane.
Insane.
Has anybody done that? Has anybody
That's
ever
not
scored
what happened.
60 with
He
no
was,
free
he was
throws?
18 of 20, so he
only
scored
missed 2 free
60.
throws
He
that night.
scored 63 without free throws. 63.
Oh,
Ethical.
man.
That's still ethical. Like at that point, I can give you take the damn free throws. F it. That was a great game.
Yeah, you scored 63 ethically. We'll give you
So,
some
free
free
throws.
throws.
we just want to say
Yeah.
Kobe scored 63 that night.
Hey,
That might be the
100%
highest scoring ethical performance you've ever seen.
So what is more impressive, an unethical 81 or an ethical 60?
ethical 60.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. If someone, I'm gonna be honest.
Today. Damo,
If someone scored like, if someone scored 70 with no free throws,
That's insane.
that would borderline be more impressive than Wilt Chamberlain allegedly scoring 100.
How many free throws?
I don't care that he made 28 free throws, so he
20-something.
technically had
I'm about to
72.
say, he like
I don't care.
25,
I don't care
right?
because his layups and fadeaways.
Two
I don't care.
unethical buckets or
I don't
ethical
care.
buckets
I don't
on
care.
the.
I don't care. 70 with no free throws is crazy.
Insane.
So Damo, lastly, because we do got to move on. What you're saying is when players start scoring that amount, they need to start coming and holding up the paper that has the amount of the actual
Minus the
number
free
of
throws.
ethical buckets that you got.
Minus the free throws, yes.
Oh yeah, then you really see who buckets for real. Yeah,
Okay.
that's when you start separating guys.
Like, there's never like if you score 70 on all layups and dunks versus someone scoring 70 on all jumpers, it's just different. Like, I don't know, like the points are the same, but it's different. Like we just understand.
We're
it's
just
different. Like,
we're
that's
just
what it
at a
is.
point in today's NBA where offense is so prevalent and scoring is such a norm that we need to really start to preserve the integrity of the game that we grew up watching, the game before us, to preserve the integrity of basketball. We have to start pointing out these unethical performances because eventually we're going to get to a point to where it's a bunch of Jeremy Grants in these history books that have overcame a bunch of feats these other greats have done. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where Bronny James, and I understand this is Bronny James, but Bronny James dropped 65 points in a night. And you're looking, only 13 players since January 1976 have scored this amount of points. But in reality, Bronny shot 20 free throws. That's a 40-point game. Why are we putting his name down to these other greats? We got to start having ethics in basketball, man.
Free throws aren't just crazy easy. I'm just going to just say that, like, from experience.
They are for people that can
feel
shoot
like-
them. I can shoot free throws, so I see them as easy. I can shoot.
But what about the guys that just were never the best free throw shooters? Like, so let me ask you this too, Damo. So Hack-a-Shaq. What about an instance of a Hack-a-Shaq? Like if Shaq was making his free throws, were those points unethical? Yeah,
No, because if you can point out that there was a Hack-a-Shaq going on, people are intentionally trying to get you to the line because you're a liability, and you overcome that. That's probably more ethical than anything. If Shaq
So was
brings
Giannis
up-
50 in the finals ethical?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, ethical.
W. Wait,
Now-
was
now
Wilt
this
Chamberlain's
season-
100 ethical? Wilt Chamberlain's 100?
If that is the case,
Now, I will
we
say,
gotta
he
shoot
had-
Wilson Bell.
Yeah, because I'm
I
gonna be
will say
honest,
this.
that means because 28 and 32 from a bad free throw shooter, that has to be ethical.
28-32 from a bad free throw shooter is fine. The only issue I have with this is the validity of all that because I ain't seen the film.
validity.
The validity is what's in question here because there's no way I'm seeing all this footage of all this other stuff going on, and I've yet to see the actual footage. I've seen people put together footage of what it would look like before I've seen the actual footage. So the validity is what's questioning his ethics. That's all that is. But other than that, all the other times he averaged 59 points in the season. And they said if they would have recorded his blocks, he would have had 14 blocks a game and all this extra. This was a phenomenon. Like he was literally a once in a universe type of player. Phenomenal. Just don't know about the 100-point game, man. Probably was unethical.
All right, y'all. Couple different things right now. Want to shout out everybody that's watching the video. Go ahead and slap that like button. As you guys know, it's a new super chat type of tier where if you send 25, we change the current topic to whatever your super chat is. And if you send $10, we answer your question as soon as we can, which is immediately. So, Drip Bayless, you sent through a $10 super chat. Well, it was $9.999. I was taxing it first, but my fellow associates up here, they wouldn't let me slide with that. So, Drip Bayless, you said Mars. The way you rank defensive players by error Can you do that for offense? You can determine if you want to do scoring or all-around offense. You want to do this, Morris?
The 80s, Magic, Mike, Bird, Mikal,
5.
Kareem, Moses Malone. We'll do Moses. Why not? We'll do Moses. Cool. 90s at the 1. Mike's at the 2. And I'm putting Grant Hill at the 3. At the 1, Penny's at the 1. Okay. Penny, Mike, Grant Hill at the 4.
Come
Number
on,
32.
you know.
Number 32. Number 32.
Go.
Number 32. All right, fine. I guess whatever. Number 32. Had an argument for Charles Barkley, but whatever. And at the 5,
Come on,
I'm putting
Morris.
Shaq at the 5. I'm sorry. I'm putting Shaq at the 5.
In the 90s?
I'm putting
Come
Shaq
on,
at the 5.
Morris.
I'm putting Shaq at the 5. I don't know what to tell you. I'm putting Shaq at the 5.
Okay.
Well, he came in 92, played the whole 90s. Hakeem was there from the start of the 90s, but he was kind of finished by the end of the 90s. So I mean, it balances itself out. I'm taking Shaq.
So Shaq from 92 to 99. That's he showed up in 90.
I'm taking Shaq.
That's 7 years, and Olajuwon from 1990 to 1999. So I think he had like 98, 99, which was the shortened season, and then 90.
Yep.
97, 98, 98, 99. Those were the 2 years where it went the other way. It started like 97 was the last elite season for him.
Yeah, but a lot of the elite stuff that extended, I would argue, is because he was still that level defensively. I don't think he was better than Shaq offensively in 96 or 97. But the early, like 90 to like 94, I'll give you Hakeem offensively over Shaq. I'm not mad with that. But then the last 5 years of the decade, give me Shaq. So I think it balances out. But I'm a favor Shaq. So maybe that's a little bit of bias. Well, I'm a favor Shaq. 2000s, Steve Nash at the 1. 2, Kobe, obviously. The 3 is probably Bron. Yeah, 3 is Bron. At the 4, Dirk. Is it cheating to say Amari Stoudemire at the 5?
Yes.
Or I can do that.
Because he was a 4 man.
But he played the 5.
He played a lot of 5.
Yeah, because they went small. They played small, so they ran him at
a lot of 5.
Because they ran Sean Marion at the small.
So he showed up in 2003. From 2003 to 2010, how many of those years was he awesome?
All of 5 to the rest of the decade. Once Steve Nash arrived,
so he got Steve Nash
to the end of the decade. Yeah,
so I don't think he played in 4 until Shaq got there.
He didn't play in 06. Remember that, Mars?
Yeah, 06 he didn't play. So 05, 07, 08, and then the year Shaq was there, he played the 4, right? And then they had, I think Alvin Gentry ran him at the 4 too.
Right.
I might
Which
be
I
wrong
thought
on
he
that
was a
one.
4 man anyway. No,
I think they ran him at the 4 because they had Channing Frye, right? Am I bugging? They had Channing Frye and Robin Lopez who they ran. So if Amari don't count as if Amari don't count, then it's Shaq again. I'm sorry, I'm going with Shaq. So
over Howard,
offensively, clears. 2000 Shaq exists. I was just seeing if Amari had a case. It's still Shaq. So yeah, we got Shaq back to back decades for me. 2010s, Steph, James Harden, LeBron. I have to get KD in now. I'm sorry. LeBron's playing the 4. Steph, James Harden, KD, LeBron.
No, Mars, it doesn't work like that. It's a small forward.
I'm not about to leave KD off the team. I'm not doing
sorry.
that.
You got to pick between the two.
But here's the thing, though. They both, first off, I'm like, this has to be an exception. But also, they both played the 4 in the 2000s.
They've both played both. They've both played both forward positions.
Technically, Mars, you could put Bron at the point guard.
No, Steph Curry's getting in there.
But Bron, I think you can put Bron at the 4 though.
Bron can play the 4. So yeah,
he played a lot of power forward in Miami.
Yeah, Steph, James Harden, KD, LeBron, and at the 5 is between Boogie and how strong I feel about Jokic and Embiid at the end of the decade. But out of respect, I'm gonna go Boogie. We'll go Boogie because I think more of the decade was his. So we'll go Boogie at the 5, and then 2020s. The ones between Steph and Luka. we'll start from the bigs. We'll go Jokic at the 5. At the 4 is Giannis. At the 3, is it still LeBron?
Right now, today?
Wait, no. KD plays the 4. Yeah. KD at the 4 in the 2020s. KD plays the 4. So KD at the 4. LeBron at the 3.
It's such a cop out, man. Because
he plays the 4.
No, he's listed as a 4. He's not a 4.
He plays the 4. So who plays
I understand your logic because that's what the game is today, sure. But
not
that's
a 4 in any other era, but he plays in this one.
That's
so
why we have. So to say that KD and James, does that mean that the 4 position from 2010 to 2020 wasn't as good? Because I'd like to think that Blake Griffin, I'd like to think that Anthony Davis,
he's not as good as them offensively. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
like if Blake is
he's also not as good as James at the 3, which is his position. That's what he came into the game.
But LeBron actively played the 4 in Miami. Like he played the 4, and KD has played the 4 since he's been in Brooklyn and all the way till now. He's been not exclusively, but pretty much exclusively a 4. So I don't think I'm doing anything wrong by saying like LeBron is more shaky because LeBron hasn't played the 4 as much as KD has, in my opinion. But KD in the 2020s undoubtedly has been a 4, man. And he's the best offensively. So Jokic at the 5, KD at the 4. At the 3, it's between LeBron and Kawhi, but I'll go with LeBron. Although the injury, Kawhi's been hurt too, so we'll go LeBron at the 3. At the 2, Devin Booker, and then at the 1 is between. At the 1 is between Steph and Luka, and I don't even know who I'm going with. Steph.
How close is it, Mars, between Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell?
I'd be willing to have the conversation, considering like the earlier parts of the decade.
Right.
And at the 1, Steph missed the 2020 season, so you got to tax that. And then 21, didn't see it in the playoffs.
Has Luka always played the lead guard since he's been in Dallas?
I'm pretty sure he played the 2 next to Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah,
pretty sure. But in the 2020s, yeah, he's been the one the whole time.
So it's Luka then. It's Luka.
Yeah, we'll put.
He was the lead guard. That's why they traded him because that's why they ended up trading Dennis. So they was like, okay, if you don't got the ball in your hand, what are you doing?
Yeah, but I will say I think Steph's like every time Steph's been healthy and Luka's been healthy, I've been the one saying Steph's the better offensive player. So like, and I can't. I could technically just say Steph's a 2, but we'll go Luka. Why not? We'll go Luka. We'll say Luka, Devin Booker, LeBron, KD, and Jokic. But I'm fine with Steph over Luka because I'm pretty sure I would pick Steph over Luka offensively in this decade. But and bigs, I don't care about what they've won. Like, why are you telling me that? Right. It doesn't mean anything to me. But yeah, that's probably what I'd go with. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Moving along. We got to that. Marquavian Black says, salute, Ron. Salute to the panel. Start bench cut. Tim, Larry, Shaq. Wasn't expecting this today.
At their best or for their whole careers?
Start Bird, bench Timmy, cut Shaq.
Peak?
Start Bird, bench Timmy, cut Shaq.
At their best, I'm starting Shaq, benching Bird, and cutting Duncan.
If we're going peak, I'm going with Mars on that. If we're going career, I'm starting Tim, benching Shaq, cutting Larry.
If we're going peak or career, I'm starting Tim, benching Shaq, and I'm cutting Larry.
You think peak Tim's better than peak Shaq?
Tim Duncan is 4th, 5th on my all-time list.
Yeah, but that's
that's all time.
We're talking about a peak, Damo, right? And we're talking about
Shaq at his best and Tim Duncan at his best. Who do you think is the better player?
Tim Duncan is still the better player. I can say Shaq was more dominant, but who's better at the game of basketball? Tim Duncan.
Oh my, yeah.
I ain't mad at you, Damo. I ain't mad. I got Tim 4 and Shaq 5 on my list. So
Shaq's production was crazy. His dominance crazy. I'm not even trying to discount any of that. But simply, if we're talking skill for skill, I mean, and that's what better means to me. We're talking the skill of playing basketball. Tim Duncan is more skilled than Shaq. I mean, that's just a fact. That's not even an opinion. That's factually true. Peak for peak, when they were both old and washed, Tim Duncan was more skilled than Shaq.
I got Shaq comfortably.
I got Shaq peak wise, and then career wise, Bird's getting cut, like in terms of overall career. And then between Duncan and Shaq, I can go either way. I'll give it to Timmy. Why not? Tim, Shaq, Birds, peak career wise, but peak Shaq, Duncan.
We got RN with a little bit of a jab. Y'all letting anyone up? ... Jalen, Dub, and Mustard are the only ones that can hang with the panel. Early, stick to football.
Dub. Why they? How can they hang with the panel? Jalen, Dub, Mustard. Like those are the names you came with. Like what? That's crazy.
Prince Liger said, laughing emojis. Chill. I'm black and Italian, not Jamaican. So Ron, remember, it's on site when I see you, and I'm going to have you sleeping with the fishes.
Oh, he a mafia boss. Yeah, he a mafia boss.
Black and
I
Italian is
Ron.
crazy.
Look what I told you. See what I told you?
And the Italians be racist. So the fact that he a black Italian is crazy.
A black Italian is crazy.
No, this is his fault. I told this dude don't stop them Jamaicans, and now you got the Italians in it too. You're gonna get us knocked off. I told you, Ron. Stay away
black
from
Italian too.
You like it?
Which is even worse.
You don't see black Italians.
I'm gonna start reading super chats, bro. I got you. Hey, just in case, Ox, you still friends with them Russians? Damo, who you know out there in North Carolina? I'm saying we in trouble. We in this together.
Right, but Big Ox don't want nothing to do with this.
No, we not.
Big Ox don't want nothing to do with this.
Hey, take a light.
Yes. Big Ox don't want nothing to do with this. He shouldn't want nothing to do with this. He right.
Hey, when times get rough, who do you turn to, chat? It's crazy.
The man in the mirror, buddy.
That dude right there.
No doubt. Stunner said, Royce O'Neal last night, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 1 block. He was a great pickup for the Suns. Impact felt instantly.
Now I think it just show up that league.
He made some big plays. He made some big plays last night.
Speaking of moving super chats up to the top, Prince Liger, I got you, brother. He said, Damo, have you been watching GD lately? How hard he been going after the ball and exploding all over the court?
He's talking about Grady Dick.
That's a crazy way to put it.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know why they did that? That was intentional.
Lonnie Williams said, shout out my brother Earlie. Get them likes up, y'all. Come on, man. Why is it 1,300 people in here and we got 300 likes? Come on. Y'all get us up to 500 at least. Come on, man. Do us a favor and do yourself a favor, too. Let's get them up. Eli the Misfit, I already read this, but why not read it again? Eli the Misfit said Marcin Gortat over Bill Russell.
Obviously not, but respect Gortat.
How many rings he got?
Ron, you shouldn't even read this one. This is crazy.
They call me young, said Cody Zeller over Bill Russell.
Yeah, Cody Zeller was quite nice in Indiana.
Winter just shot through a super chat and said the Bucks are now 3-6 in the Doc Rivers era. Who's at fault? The players or Doc personally? I think it's the players' fault. Also, thoughts on them doing the players' meeting circle. Also, prayers to Jimmy Butler.
Well, number one,
and that's super chat.
Doc isn't the issue. They got a personnel issue. We've already covered that. It's the way that this team is currently constructed. That's the problem. That's number one. Number two, they've always done that since for years. They after games, whether they win or they lose, they get in the middle of the circle and they say a prayer after the game. They've always done that. And as far as Jimmy Butler, I think it's the guy who raised him, if I'm not mistaken. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the guy who raised him who was sick, and I think he passed away, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's
okay.
I think that's who passed away.
Rest
Yeah.
in
Prayers
peace.
up to Jimmy
If
Butler.
he did.
I'm not totally, but I think that's who it is.
Yeah, prayers to Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I blame Dame for the personnel issues for the Bucks, and I don't even know who was praying in the circle, but let him pray. I don't know.
The whole team, but I still blame Doc Rivers because he shouldn't have the job.
I didn't like that hire, Mars. I did not like the way it went down. The fact that you're a consultant while this is going on, and basically Griffin has one foot out the door. You don't even want him as your guy, and you consulting Doc while this is going on. Doc is talking to Adrian Griffin about how he should be coaching the team, and then they end up canning him, and then you get the job. I don't like how that sounds at all. That stinks to high heaven.
Chad, remember that. If she got a shoulder to cry on, she got.
I don't like
Just
it.
remember that.
Mhm.
Just remember that. I ain't gonna finish that statement, but you know, if you
A
know,
bed to cry in.
if not,
I'm
ask.
saying-
There you go, Domo. There you go.
something like that. Something like that.
There
What
you go.
what is she crying for though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why? You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? Why you got her crying in the first place? It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, happy Valentine's Day to all the beautiful women that tap into the panel. If you don't got nobody to send you flowers, I know the UPS man and I could get them to you. So
Yeah, by next year.
hey, it's better next year than
They gonna be dead,
No, yeah.
dead.
no, I'll send them fake
Ah.
flowers. Oh, never.
Yeah,
will.
man.
I think-
Shout out to
I
all the
think
single women on Valentine's Day, man. Y'all deserve to be single.
I think when Nick Nurse took the Philly job, he did say that. Shout out to all single women. Wow. I think when Nick Nurse took that Philly job and Monty Williams took the Detroit job, I think Doc was their guy. But the way that they went out in the playoffs, they couldn't hire him because it would look bad. That's why they had him as a consultant. So if this thing went the other way, I think he was their guy right from the beginning, to be honest with you. But I think that the way that he went out in the playoffs, they couldn't hire him.
I don't get how these coaches keep like it's the same.
Me neither,
coach
Mars.
being
Me neither.
recycled. There's no new coaches coming in, like, and then when they do come in, you just fire them anyway. Like, how do you get new coaches in? They need to do a coach draft. Like, we need the best coaches from college to.
This a coach in rehall, man. This is crazy. These coaches are getting tossed around like rapper girlfriends. Just everybody gets fired.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest. After hearing what I heard about Monty Williams and how he pleaded to keep Killian Hayes on that team, and that's why Jaden Ivey weren't getting minutes.
He's the
That's
terrorist.
why Jaden Ivey was having to come off the bench because he was trying to use Killian Hayes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Monty, you're done for, buddy.
Mars, don't leave out. Mars, don't leave out.
Jaden Ivey because he believed in Killian Hayes. Like, that's ridiculous. So
And Mars, don't leave out that they had to up
right here, Monty.
They had to up the money. Don't leave out, Mars, that they had to up the money in order to get him. Like he didn't want that job. They had to up the money in order to get him.
yeah, Monty, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of having your back. I was always saying you weren't as bad as other people were saying. I thought you were okay. Nah, Monty next level. By the way, shout out to James Wiseman, by the way. Got minutes.
And look pretty solid in those minutes.
About 18
When I
points.
see
Yeah,
it, look productive. He looked real productive, was ducking everything. Monty, welcome to the Taliban, buddy. You're a terrorist. I'm not gonna lie to you. Welcome to Al Qaeda. Welcome
Monty,
to Al
you're
Qaeda.
done for.
You are done, buddy.
You with that what is it called?
A turban.
Turban. You with
Turban.
the turban. It's coming soon. Speaking
That's
of
the
which,
new picture.
I
I'm
want
gonna
to see
find
something
it.
funny. Never mind. I ain't gonna do it.
I want to see something funny.
Don't, Ron.
No, we don't. We good. We good.
All right, go through it. Mr. Steele said, Mars, are you doing any more content on your channel?
Hey man, I'm here 5 days a week and I'm on playback too, man. That's what you want to see me. My channel retired. But if you want to subscribe, Mars Talk Sports on YouTube.
Man, boo. Man, stop it. Stop running from the grind, Mars.
Y'all throw tomatoes at Mars because
Grind. I be doing the panel
now.
5 days
Mars,
a week. I do open gym 3 days a week.
This is what I'm talking about with Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom.
Yeah, but you do half the amount of time on the panel that I do. So
even before then, I was doing 3-hour shows on the panel 5 days a week. I was doing the 3-hour podcast every 2 days a week. I'm streaming twice a week on Twitch, and I was doing playback twice a week.
Cool. Guess
You
what?
gotta peep out this
Guess
content,
what?
Mars.
Guess what? I don't care.
Just be lazy. Do what I do. Do what I do. Just do lazy content. Just stream, record it, throw it on YouTube. Boom, you got a banger.
Hey, subscribe to my channel, man. If I ever hit 10K subs, I'll make content again.
Yo, if he hits 10K subs by not posting before I hit 10K subs, posting.
If people want to see content again, I need 10K
pulling
subs.
up to the UK.
Damn, Mars, they saying you don't got no bag now.
Oh, for sure. Hey, if the money gets tight, you'll see me posting on my channel. But nah, if I ever hit 10K subs,
balling, I don't need to post nothing for you bimbos.
if I ever hit 10K subs, I'll make content again. So right now I'm like 4,500 away. If 4,500 people sub to a channel that isn't posted, I'll make content again.
All right, y'all. Keeping it lit. Darren Foss said, question for Chill. How disrespectful are the Magic for retiring Shaq's number before retiring Dwight Howard's?
He was there before him. What are you talking about? Why is that disrespectful? That's not disrespectful.
It took them 8 years to retire.
Right. That's the disrespectful part. Almost 30 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Darren,
wild.
you might just not know about Shaq's work in Orlando.
Not to mention, technically,
That has
Dwight
to be
Howard's
there.
still an active player, so maybe they're just not trying to retire an active players.
He's gonna get his retired, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard is the best player in the history of the Orlando Magic organization. He's the best player they ever had.
That is true. What?
Yeah, I mean, Shaq was 4 years.
It's
before
not.
that.
It's not.
He only played 4 years there.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
it.
with you. I've made that take before about the value of like number one picks and stuff. I agree with like Dwight did more for the franchise, but Shaq in those
Shaq
4
was a
years
better
still
player.
Yeah,
Shaq was a better player than Dwight Howard. I ain't gonna fight that. Just like
Dwight
James
was
was a better
for-
player than Dwayne Wade. However,
yeah.
For how long?
I'm with
For
you.
how long Dwight was there? I definitely think that he deserves it. I'm just saying, like, what
Just
Dwight
like
what Dwight just did was egregious. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that to people. You know? So,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, why is this?
Wait,
Why is
I'm
this
lost.
getting
What do
so
you-
overlooked?
They retired number
You
32.
know why? I'm gonna say one, they did do that. Two, I mean, you better retire his number or he gonna pull up in Orlando next. I wouldn't want Dwight, do whatever you want, gang. Whatever keep you happy
and for the record,
and away
Marlon,
from me.
they didn't just retire number 32. There's a statue of him outside.
Exactly.
So,
So I mean,
Yeah.
that
I
would
didn't know
explain.
so many players had statues,
Yeah,
and
there's
I
a
ain't gonna lie,
statue of him
Karl Malone
outside.
has the worst statue ever. I have I don't know if y'all have seen it. It is absolutely the worst statue ever.
Well, it shouldn't exist. So I mean, I hear a lot about Americans tearing down statues. Why is it still up?
Confederate.
They actually, and Miles, just so you know, they did that.
Tear
They-
down
they-
the person who did what he did to kids.
They did that after they found out about that. It's not like that statue went up in like 2000 or something like that. No, that
Exactly.
statue.
They were aware. Tear it down.
They knew what happened. They knew what happened. And I got a hot
Tear
take
it
for y'all.
Watch out.
I got a hot take for y'all. Russell Westbrook getting a statue in Oklahoma City.
And he deserves
He
it.
should. He deserves one.
That's right. Russell Westbrook
All
is getting a
stadiums-
statue at Oklahoma
all
City.
stadiums should
can't
have
get his
statues.
jersey retired. Yeah.
All stadiums should have statues of their best players in franchise history.
That's an ownership issue, Mars. Like once that dude, I think
I
they
know,
already
yeah.
they already transferred ownership, but he is getting that too. But yes,
Yeah, A-Rod.
Russell
So
Westbrook-
Kemba Walker should get a
A-Rod and them
statue
gonna
in
take
Charlotte?
care of it.
Yes, I'm on record on my pod saying I would love to see a Kemba Walker, Alonzo Mourning, personally Muggsy Bowles, statues
Rice?
in front of Charlotte. Glenn Wright. All of them. All of them.
A
Grandma.
Muggsy Bogues life-size statue.
Yeah, so I could just step over it. Yeah, I could just walk over it. That'd be dope. But yes, Charlotte should have statues of their players. Once I seen Dominique Wilkins' statue, which no disrespect to me, that looked like Ivan Drago. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yo, once I seen it, I was like, yeah, nah, everyone should get one. Every team should put a
Need a
statue
statue too.
Do Portland have any players with statues? Like, does Clyde or Bill
Oh,
Walton?
Nah,
I've never
Yeah.
seen one.
Bill Walton get them a ring and he don't even get a statue? Crazy.
Dirk got a statue though. The Dirk statue.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Wade should have a statue.
he's getting
Shaq-
it.
That's coming.
He getting
I
one.
think this year. Yeah, he getting it this year. I knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Are the Warriors getting a statue for just Steph or is Draymond and Clay getting one?
And Clay getting one. All three of them dudes are.
I'm about to say it should be a
What's the
three-man
Draymond
statue.
statue? Just him kicking Steven Adams? Like, what we going with it?
Oh my god. Yo, I do gotta ask. Does Will have a statue anywhere?
Will?
Yes,
Does
Will-
not have a statue.
We'll
Where?
have one.
In
In Philly, I think. I think it's
it
in
might be
Philly.
in Philly. I forgot where it was. We literally did a pod where we looked up everybody's statue. Wilt has one. Wilt,
I know
to
Bill.
me,
I know
he has
Bill
a top
Russell
three
has one in
statue.
Boston.
I banged Wilt statues. Wilt statue's tough.
And Bill Russell got one in Boston.
I didn't understand where his was.
It's not the arena. It's in the It's like
It's
downtown.
It's downtown Boston.
Yeah, because that's how impactful he was to the city. Yeah, he's more than just a basketball player. That's why he.
But is Steph gonna tell the owners like, yo, we can have a 3-person statue, but I want my own statue. Like, get these brothers out.
No, it's not. Whoa! It's not a 3-person statue.
They all gonna have individual ones.
Yeah, they all gonna have individual ones. 100%.
Okay, I thought y'all meant like
technically
together.
The Draymond statue is gonna be him setting a screen for the Steph statue. That's how it's gonna be.
Great. No. His statue is just gonna be a Louis Vuitton backpack. That's all it is. It's just gonna be.
Man, if y'all don't stop disrespecting my guy, Draymond's gonna get a statue of him like yelling. Clay is gonna get one of him going like this. And Steph is gonna get one of.
Gotta be him shooting. It has to be him shooting.
It's gonna be him shooting. It's either gonna be him doing like a turnaround 3, or the one
him
for the
shooting the record shot most likely. But yeah, Clay's definitely getting one of these. The 4-time championship. It gotta be that. If it's not that, he failed.
Masenko G says, shout out Jermaine O'Neal. Mad underrated.
Shout out JR. Sure. Shout out JR. Yeah,
he was.
Mason said, Jokic 6 seed MVP from injuries, quote unquote, wow, best big man ever carried his team, end quote. Luka's teammates missed 166 games this season, quote unquote, not MVP, pass, fatty, ball hog.
I don't know if you should be calling Luka a fatty ball hog with Luka. I mean, Luka ain't exactly Mr. Fitness. That's number one. Number two, you can say it to a Luka guy. That's fine. Luka is your guy. And number three, I actually had Giannis winning the league MVP that year. I did not.
For as well. Yeah. I didn't think I didn't. Yeah. Jokic was my MVP that year. So.
Yeah, I had Giannis winning the league MVP that year. So for what it's worth.
War Room said, Damo, you heard the Warriors called the Lakers for Bron. Oh, how did we not?
I did. I did hear that, and I heard Rich Paul even told Draymond, "Hey man, try to pull some strings or try to convince Bron to go." I smacked Damo.
Tampering?
I smacked the hell out of Rich Paul for that. Right in the back of the head. Right in the back of the head. What's wrong with you, man?
You guys don't.
Isn't it? But Ron, isn't it like any other team that's trying to make their team better? It's not like they called up. It's not like they called up the Lakers. They're in last place and they just doing it for tickets. They actually Bron could still play, and to get Bron on that crew, depending on what they would have to give up, they looking at it like, yo, we could get better with James on the crew, just like they did going after KD. The same logic. The only difference is Lakers told them get the hell out of here. No, we ain't doing that. So
no. You know how yesterday I said if Steph pulls it off this year, obviously I went overboard, but you know what we talked about yesterday. If Steph wins one, but if Steph wins one with Bron after having winning 2 with KD, he's going the other way. He's going the other way. First, I'm moving him up, but if he calls
Bron going the other way too, because I mean, think about it: Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie, K Love.
Where Steph wins Finals MVP, does Bron move now?
No.
So he joins the guy who beat him 3 times in the finals, then wins a ring with him as the second guy, and he doesn't move down.
He was traded to the guy.
Bron good where he at. Bron can't move down. But you remember, I don't got Bron. I got Bron in the second part of my top.
And you might not care. You might not care what people think about you. I do understand that, but I think Bron knows for a fact they would never forgive him if he would have went up to the bench.
I damn sure wouldn't.
They would have never forgiven him if he would have.
I'd become a Warriors fan again.
That's the perfect way to go out, though, Chilton, as a super villain. That's how you go out.
He hated the villain logic. No, that's why he didn't. That's why he didn't.
You wrecked the NBA for 2 decades and then leave as the super villain, winning one with Steph. That's
Draymond
a beautiful story.
They gonna go back to back.
Draymond embraced the villain. James didn't like it at all. He hated the villain tag. He hated it. So to go to Golden State. Absolutely, he knows for a fact he will never live that down. Ever.
It's because he's soft. That's why he's soft.
He would never live that down.
It's like if you watch The Dark Knight, like Joker was the star of that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like That's what I'm saying. Go out like that, bro. Go out as the super villain. Go click up with Steph and just tear shit up for 2 straight seasons and just make everybody hate.
So you can move Steph down your all-time list.
Dude, that's unconsequential. Like who cares about my list? You know what I'm saying? My list means absolutely nothing in the big scheme of this beautiful story. Like that's what I'm saying. It's about the art, you know.
Meanwhile, if he wins another one, wins the Finals MVPs to go without James.
Well, yeah, that's
man. That's how much. Hey, man, that's how much one player can change things, man.
That's the art. That's the art of things, Chitchat. It's all. You know,
I just look at it, Ron, as I look at it as a team trying to improve their team. But there's some things that you just cannot do. Some things, especially after seeing everybody else do it, and you already did something wow like that, to do it again and to get on a crew with that dude, yeah, nah. You can say that you don't care what people think about you and your image and all of that stuff. No, absolutely not. You're not going there. No, we won't do that.
All right, fellas, we've come to the end of the road. Be sure to get your girl some flowers, chocolates, and maybe some other things. Women, also get your man something too. It's not a one-way street. We are on playback later tonight. Haley and ZZ watching the Clippers and the Warriors. You make sure to go tap in. Right after this, we got the press box. Let's get into some good off-season football talk. If you're into that, jump over to the press box. We got the good fellas, Bama, J-Rob, seen Earlie up here today, and some other good guys as well. Like the video on the way out, cop you some merch. J-Rob's being nasty in the comments. We're just going to end the stream.
I'm about to say, whoa.
Wow.
That's so foul, yo. Oh, and by the way, chill with Chill tonight at 5 o'clock.